Rafi z tą dziką pozycją. Zobacz, co on wyprawia na backlinie. Forsaken. Antonio, on niekryty. Zdoła pierwszą eliminację i to będzie multi-kill.
Smoka bez GRP i jeszcze bez nich w dodatku top lanera.
Yeah, let's go everybody and welcome on yet another day of Samsung Galaxy Ultraliga. Today, not as a trio, but as a duo. Let's call it a duo cast lane of me and Solari.
I mean, it's actually a trio because it's Mr. Majutek. This is Solari. And I also have my biggest fan with me. Say hi.
I can't believe it. But hey, welcome to you. Welcome to your biggest fan out there. Biggest fan in the room. That's
Yeah.
100%. Welcome to all of the fans of Ultraliga, the actual fans, not only this one that Solari has. And
It's okay.
welcome to today's matches. We have 4 of them per usual. We have some league to cast per usual, and we have the fight for the 4th place in the playoff still going on, but this time a little bit harder for other teams to catch up. Matty USA LODIS actually lost the chance of making the 4th place, but for devils.one the chances are still up. They firstly need to go against Forsaken. That's not going to be an easy one. Then Zero Tenacity and Orbit Anonymo Esports. I don't believe that's going to change much in terms of the standings, but GRP Esports and back to the game. This will be a hell of a game. And we are going to end the broadcast with Iron Wolves and Matty USA LODIS. As I mentioned before, both teams without the chances of making the playoffs, but still the standings matters in terms of the promotion tournament between the first and the second division.
Now, we have 2 teams already locked in for the playoffs. This is Zero Tenacity and Back to the Game. We have 3 teams who are already locked out of the playoffs. This is Matty USA LODIS, Orbit Anonymo, and Iron Wolves, which means we have 3 teams left for 2 last spots for the playoffs, which means the battles today are going to be absolutely legendary. But before that, yes, an important announcement. Lee Sin, DTA recently discovered bug, is not going to be allowed to be picked today. Not like anybody is picking Lee Sin in this matter, to be fair. But if you really wanted to play him today and you were cooking these all week long, I'm sorry, that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not our fault. I mean, something broke down with this champion. I
Yeah.
mean, having over 160 champions, you have like 99% of chance that something will break up eventually and not work. This time it's Lee Sin, so not the biggest hit in my opinion for all of those teams. It would be way worse if it happened to be, for example, like Brand, Zyra, or Talia. Those champions. Lee Sin is like a B/C tier jungler right now. But not about the champions itself. Let's talk about the teams. As you mentioned, Solari, you have 3 teams fighting for 2 spots. And just looking at the standings, just looking at Forsaken 8-3, GRP Esports 7-4, it's pretty clear for me that they are going to make it, but still devils.one could make the miracle happen. But what they need to achieve? They need to beat Forsaken today. They need to beat Zero Tenacity the next week, and they need to beat GRP Esports in the last match, and it's going to count when GRP Esports loses 2 of their upcoming matches. It's going to be back to the game and Forsaken. So not the worst odds for devils.one. They just need to win against the strongest team in the league.
Yeah, it sounds easy enough, right? Just go and win against the strongest guys we currently have. No, I would say that the schedule is absolutely brutal for devils.one right now. They are 2 victories below GRP Esports, and honestly, between us, it doesn't look like they have a lot of chances of making it, because both Forsaken and GRP are rather close to each other. They both are rather close to actually getting into the playoffs. For devils.one, yes, it would take them winning every game from now on, including today's game, and it would take for GRP to lose every game that they have before them.
I mean, as a Polish lad, as a fan of Polish football, I understand those odds. I have some faith to devils.one, but
Mm.
just like 1%,
Yeah,
like
I
just
see how much faith
little.
you have looking at your prediction.
Exposed.
You just really want to win in the prediction battle that we have. But
And
I don't think
speaking
it's
about the
happening.
prediction battle between the three of us, you, me, and Kasper, you are leading the race, being 2 points ahead of me and 3 points ahead of Kasper. I don't know how and when are we going to catch up to you.
Maybe when I'm away, you will be like, yeah, Solari's finally away. Let's do that. Let's crush your hopes of dreams and of finally winning the prediction game, because I've never won a prediction game. I've always been really bad with them because I don't predict for the points, I predict for the hype.
Uh, I do kind of agree on that. I went for some these two teams this prediction season. But hey, let's keep on that. Let's just straight jump into the draft. Starting with the match, devils.one against Forsaken. Quick reminder, devils.one needs to win this match, otherwise they are out. And Forsaken, they need to win if they want to secure the spot in playoffs today.
If they want to have spot number 3, if they want to maybe beat back to the game in the game for the spot number 2, yeah, they would need to win this game too. But for devils.one, definitely the most important victory, much more important compared to Forsaken. And they are on the blue side, banning out already Rumble and Tristana. There is a Nidalee ban, of course, coming out from Forsaken, as the first one is Croatia. You know this ban was coming.
And actually, that's like 80 something percent of ban rate of Nidalee against Croatia. I do believe he played only 1 game this season with Nidalee, and pretty much every other game it was banned. Alongside with Azir for Ribu, a great control mage player on the mid lane. Forsaken are reading the dangerous side of devils.one and targeting their jungler and mid laner. I'm surprised that they left pretty much every AD carry open. This might lead to Antonio grabbing a hyper carry even right now.
He could go for an early Zeri pick, for example, but I would say right now is a really great opportunity for devils.one to secure either Korotkiy or Skarner for themselves, since they're on the blue side, and Korotkiy for Ribu would make a lot of sense, and that's exactly what they're going on especially with Tristana banned out already by themselves. It's just a very safe pick for the mid lane.
Yeah, and it probably could be answered with Brand plus Skarner combo. You want to secure a lot of CC, strong front lane, magical jungler, and then in the other rotation go with something else. No, they're going to take away Zeri from the hands of Antonio. By the way, Antonio and Tongi are basically the only 2 players that are playing Zeri pretty much off cooldown.
No, we saw some more Zeris actually recently. Even yesterday we saw a little bit more Zeris, I'm sure of that. But they are definitely the main users of the champion. Not everybody else is really keen on her, and she's not really in the best place in the meta. But that is a good answer from devils.one. I quite like it, securing Jinx for Antonio plus the Leone for Dancer. A really good duo with a lot of range and a lot of engagement kill threat on the bot lane.
That's interesting, going with the duo for the bot lane. On the first rotation of picks right now, they are going to target either the support for Zeri or some kind of top laner, but with Forsaken having the red side, you don't want to get rid of everything for the top lane, maybe like a Volibear for Togepi or something like that, to just not get surprised by a crazy pick and go with something standard. You already have a lot of damage, you already have a nice CC coming from Leona, so maybe like a dualist for Matix this time to just take up the challenge against Togepi.
The problem, however, with picking the whole bot lane in the first rotation for devils.one is that it did give an opportunity for Forsaken to ban out a lot of AP junglers away from Croatia. with Zyra already being banned out together with Maokai, and now it's Karthus and Talia that Forsaken removed from the game. Krisha can go for either Sejuani or Lilia if they're crazy enough, but the pool is really limited.
Lilia could be cool, not sure about the matchup against Brand itself, but you can pretty much avoid it. You are operating on such a high movement speed that you could basically just run around him, dodge all the skill shots, and pray for your life. Play with the team, with Leona. It's a great follow-up to be playing with. But maybe it's Sejuani time, maybe it's going to be like 3 heavy CC, strong tanks up front, and Korotkiy and Jinx hitting from the backline. Then you'll be lacking a lot of magic damage, but right now I don't see any tank that could stack armor. And speaking about AP jungler, hey!
I haven't seen her in a long time. I did play her a long time ago, and she is incredibly fun in jungle, but that's not as relevant as the fact that she's really good in the current meta as well, because one thing about the majority of those AP carries in the jungle right now is that they're very squishy. If they're caught in the midst of the action, it's really hard for them to escape, and Diana is an excellent assassin against those AP champions because they normally don't have enough AP resistance of their own.
Yep. As I mentioned before, I don't see any tank on the side of Forsaken. Nobody is going to stack either armor or magic resist. Just a Bruiser Camille and Nautilus that's maybe going to itemize something after Warmox. So a lot of damage coming from the side of devils.one, plus 2 tanks, a lot of CC. I like this composition very much. While Forsaken just went for, you know, skill check on the mid lane, Zeri on the bot lane, and Camille just to take on some isolated fights 1v1. A standard classic approach for Forsaken, a little bit of skill checking and a little bit of really well prepared draft.
Yes, it looks pretty well rounded. I gotta say though that yes, potentially the lack of really reliable front lane for Forsaken might turn to become an issue for them later in the game, because there is going to be a lot of pretty good burst damage coming out from devils.one with Korotkiy plus Diana. That is a really strong follow-up of engage onto Forsaken's carries, and while Zeri and Lucian both have means to escape some danger because they have mobility built in their kits, Diana is really good into those champions with mobility with her ultimate. It's gonna be hard for them, and if they are caught, they most likely will die because her burst is insanely good.
And not only Diana, let's not forget about the synergy between the moon and the sun. With Leona, you have a lot of great synergies and a chain CC to go on the enemy team. Nobody is going to tank it, nobody is going to stop it. Maybe they can play around it with Camille on the side lane, with double AD carries, you know, trying to kite everybody. Let's see how it goes on the match number 1.
I didn't realize before you said it that we actually have Leona and Diana on the same team. That's nice. Yep. 2 best girlfriends just hanging around together on the Summoner's Rift. That sounds good to me. I like it.
I don't know. Are there like friends or enemies according to lore?
They are exes and currently enemies, but like not really that much of enemies. You know, it's complicated.
It's complicated. All right. So let's leave it here. Let's let the girls play around this match and decide how the partnership and the cooperation on this very match on Summoner's Rift will go. Right now, nothing unusual. Just Camille trying to, you know, utilize the level 1 aggression just by simply putting a single ward to try to see how Krisha is going to be doing the first buffing today.
She also did a little snip to Maddox, just to be fair. But yes, that's pretty much it. And that's already more than enough information for Forsaken to understand how exactly Krisha is going to move around the jungle. Ideally, Diana would like to have level 6 before she ganks. She can gank before, but she's going to be a little bit limited in how much she can actually do if there is no good setup prepared for her beforehand. So, yeah, ideally level 6, but if situation really arises, she can go before that.
Basically, Diana provides 0 setup before level 6.
Yeah.
I'm not even counting the red buff and some autos, so she needs a lot of help from the side of the team. And Korotkiy is not going to provide you anything. Xante, not much. So maybe the bot lane, as we are looking at Krisha right now, he's trying to finish the blue buff and maybe, just maybe, go towards the southern side of the Summoner's Rift, finish the red buff, and then level 3, level 4, go for some bot lane action.
I like this plan, yes, quite possibly. Level 3 is going to be pretty strong for devils.one, and it's going to be offensive enough for them that they could support Diana when she comes in on level 3 to 4. Not sure what it's going to look like for her.
But they will have a perfect information of what is Krisha currently doing, how much of HP does he have, and you know, as we are looking right now at Antonio, he's just recalling. He understands that nothing should happen, but the recall that's just been stopped might be a little bit problematic for him, but that allows Dancer to rotate.
Dancer would have rotated either way, to be honest, just leaving his AD carry behind, because he wants to help out on the mid lane, take out a flash from Rafin, but it's not going to happen. Rafin simply dashes away. Top lane, however, might be able to take something out of Maddox, already take out a ghost out of him, and it's going to be a life out of him as well. First blood for DrBrilmann.
Well played. I don't even know if Zioner needed to flash here, but let's forget about it. It's the first blood. It's like 2 waves crashing. That Matix is going to catch only a couple of creeps, and another fight on the bot lane.
Antonio should be really careful because he's low on health, but Dancer doesn't care about anything. He's going in aggressively. Tongi jumps over the wall, deals a lot of damage to Dancer in a reply, but Krisha going in really too far under the turret, has to flash away because no level 6 for him means he has no control whatsoever.
That wasn't the best decision to flash in. I mean, great response from Parasite to put exhaust immediately onto Krisha, but I was thinking about using the flash to block the hook, to actually tank the hook from connecting to the tower, allowing Nautilus to escape. It wasn't played so good. It was actually a better outcome for the Forsaken duo right now. They can have a better recalls right now. Zioner is somewhere around, so maybe they will be even thinking about getting the Drake at the spawn timer at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, they can, because I know that Krisha started from the top part of the map, right? So now he recalled on level 4, and he's going for his second clear, which means he's going to be on the top part of the map. But in the meantime, Dancer is not going to be on any part of the map. He is going to be deleted from this bot lane. Maybe same will go for Rafpin, because Ribu is going in a lot of damage from that. Korotkiy flashes forward, doesn't get the kill, and almost gets punished for it.
He needs to recall ASAP, otherwise Zioner, I mean, he has no flash, so he won't be a huge threat for the mid laner, but still helping the push go through on the mid lane. And we are seeing the replay from the situation on the top lane. Matix hitting level 3, you know, having the Q3 prepared, going for Togepi. Hey, I get you, but you got a huge minion wave. And the jungler, oh shit, I am dead.
Yeah, exactly. Probably that is exactly what was going on through his head, but there is no way out for him. Pretty much same for Dancer, right? When he got caught here, let's see how exactly it all started, because it was Parasite simply finding a perfect hook, right?
That looked so easy, and it looked so wrong for devils.one. I mean, they were about to go back at the third wave, I assume, whenever Dancer rotated to the mid lane and Antonio started buffering the recall, but they decided to stay in the end, and it was a painful mistake.
Krishi's around bot lane there, has been spotted on the ward, so Forsaken are trying to get away from it. Not sure if Parasite will be able to do so, because Krishi is jumping in with the double gap closer. Doesn't even need it, because Antonio is going to secure the kill.
Yeah, great interception from Dancer using E to Nautilus, who just wanted to escape with the hook. Great understanding of the mechanic of this very specific lineup of Nautilus against Leona. Allowed them to get a kill, but they need to go with a Drake as well, otherwise Zioner will just secure the grabbies freely and then continue on power farming, or maybe even not, as he's just coming to mid lane.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea for devils.one to be here right now. They are very low on health, especially Krisha. Pops the W trying to get the shield, but Dancer is caught in the midst of it. Krisha is already dead, and Dancer is going to be the next one. And guess who is next? The Dragon.
Tragedy. real
Yeah.
tragedy for devils.one. After getting an elimination, they thought that they have enough time to take care of the Drake itself, but no, the owner just hit level 6. He simply just walked up to them, waved hello, and you are going down. He used the ultimate on the Krisha. That wasn't the ideal usage of the ultimate because it didn't bounce, but it didn't matter in the end.
A lot of things didn't matter at all in the end for devils.one, unfortunately. They lost their momentum around the Drake, they gave away both the Grubbies and the Dragon, and right now they are 1-4, giving away around 2k of a gold lead for Forsaken. Maybe even more, because look at Parasite looking maybe for something on the mid lane, but not really finding any opening on the Rebo.
I was thinking about going in this very situation, but maybe somebody will go in on the top lane. Togepi is having problems.
The GRP doesn't have the cooldowns to run away through the walls, and it's finally a revenge for Maddox.
Yeah, finally, something, at least something. Yeah. It's not like it's going to help him much on the top lane. Togepi is already on the Sheen and some other items that are going to help him win the lane, but still, at least something on the top lane. While on bot, they are not level 6 yet. They can't fight back with the Zeri that she actually has level 6. So you don't want to dive really deep into the minion wave. She's going to kite you back and you won't be even able to hit her once.
Yeah, pretty good prio for Forsaken that they did utilize with a lot of aggression on their side. No level 6 on either of the supports yet, and both of them are looking at each other with zero respect in their eyes. And here finally comes the ultimate from Tongi. Is level 7 going on to Antonio, who has the ulti as well, but cannot really use the Super Mega Death Rocket. Not here, not right now, my friend.
That was interesting usage of the Tongi's ultimate. He went really aggressively here, maybe thinking that the owner might come in later for the dive if we poke them down.
If Dancer comes into them, there, that is going to be much harder. Krisha doesn't really have the Crushing Strike into anybody. Same goes for Super Mega Death Rocket, the ultimate from Parasite. Gonna stop Krisha for a little while, and Dancer is going in despite the exhaust on him, helping Krisha secure 1 kill and another one. I believe it should be... No, it's a kill for Antonio, but now they both have to run away. The owner flashing over the Chompers and securing the kill on Antonio, and Krisha has nowhere to run, has to sacrifice himself to Parasite under the turret.
Once again, it looked so good for the side of devils.one. I mean, Krisha being the first on the bot lane, actually trying to punish the enemy bot lane for playing too aggressively. Tongi almost escaped, but almost is not the job done. But when the owner comes, everything just shattered. In the end, Forsaken are having the lead. It's like 2 and a 5k lead, something.
But wait, it's gonna be maybe bigger right now because Rapid taking a lot of damage, actually taking really heavy beating, but firing back with his ultimate onto Dancer, who is yet again probably going to die. Yes, it's another kill granted to Tongi.
Yeah, so they are going to advance in the gold advantage even more.
Oh! That was aggressive right there from Krisha, but he couldn't connect anything onto Robin. Really good flash from Lucian.
Yeah, nice approach, but even better flash. What might happen on the top lane? Nothing, as the owner is just casually farming some wards while taking a break from farming the camps. What is Rebo doing? He has 0 mana. He can't attend to this Grubby's farming. It basically leaves it for free to the owner. Is it going to be 6 Grubbies for Forsaken?
Should be. Krisha doesn't have the Moonfall, so it's extremely risky for him to try and go steal any. Hasn't gotten any so far, but it looks like Forsaken are happy with the 4 Grubbies. They already grant them the additional true damage against the turret, so they are going to leave the last 2 devils.one. Like, have this. We leave the crumbs to you. We don't need these anymore.
I mean, Rebo TP'd to the mid lane, and Matix had a prio this time on the top lane, so it would have been dangerous to fight for the last 2 Grubbies and optionally lose a life or 2 here.
Oh, yeah.
So that's still a really good situation for Forsaken, leading in terms of Drakes, Grubbies, eliminations, just chilling on pretty much every lane. We are right now looking at the gold, being ahead on every position possible, and seeing a replay from the previous situation where Dancer felt it. Dancer felt something, but right now Rebo is feeling something and it's painful.
Maybe somebody else is gonna feel something. It's Krisha around with the Rocket Belt. It is the owner around as well. But Nothing to be found on the mid lane. Nothing at all. Maybe there is something is to be found at the Dragon Pit, because right now the Drake has spawned. I believe it should be the Chemtech Drake, considering that we don't... Yeah, it is the Chemtech Drake. Maybe finally a chance for devils.one to grab at least some objectives, but considering how bot lane is looking like, they cannot even commit to it yet.
They could rotate Matix towards the Drake, as Togepi just used the TP and Matix still has his own, but not sure that they want to force anything with Jinx having like pretty much only boots and a bow here and a sword here, but it's not making a difference. The static shift, in the other hand, does make a difference.
That does make a lot of difference, and it's helping Forsaken re-secure the prio on the bot lane. They're still pushing devils.one in. They're even going for an attempt for a third dive onto Dancer, but it's just to threaten devils.one. Make sure that they stay under this turret and not even try to leave it and see what is happening at the Drake. And at the Drake, what is happening? That is 2 Drakes in the hands of Forsaken. Mountain Soul is going to spawn soon, and Xeonor might spawn soon on this bot lane as well, because he's looking for a way. It hasn't been spotted. That looks like Kasper shouldn't have been spotted yet. Oh, now they know that Kersha is around, and Kersha is going in. Ultimate from Dancer, not hitting anybody, but he is going in. Kersha finally finds a good ultimate, but guess what? Xeonor does find an ultimate as well. He is down. Down is Dancer too, but Antonio, can he fight back? Can he do anything? He actually can do something. He can survive.
That was a nice coverage of Diana trying to secure the bot lane from being dove, but it didn't pay off in the end. You went into Brand and gave him enough time to press all of his 4 buttons, to use all of the spells and punish you for being so good. In the end, once again, great play for Forsaken. They get 1 elimination more, they get a full tower before 14-minute mark, so 5 plates for Tongi and friends. It's just looking like a very, very controlled winning game for Forsaken.
It's starting to look like a little bit of an issue, right? And a little bit of a jungle diff, because it's not about the individual skill, it's simply about how far ahead one jungler is compared to the other, because both of them want to be fighting in the choke points, but the one that has more items and more damage is obviously going to win in those. Which means right now it is very winnable for Xeonor, and it does look very winnable for Forsaken in general. What do you think, Majutek? Do you feel confident in your prediction for Forsaken?
Right now, I'm feeling more confidence than I had while making the actual predictions. Just look at this game. I mean, what Brand wants to do. Power farm, get as many camps, as many creeps as possible, and he's leading in this race against Krisha. What would Diana love to do? Farm, power farm, maybe not as much as Brand later on to do some ganks, but still, he's losing in terms of ganks, he's losing in terms of farming. Krisha is just showing somewhere on the map. Yeah, he has 100% kill participation. So what? It's not going to make a difference. But in the other hand, Xeonor is making a difference right now on the top lane.
And he is going to make even higher difference, because Kersha has been caught with the ultimate from Parasite, the ultimate from somebody else. I don't even know who, but what I know is that Dancer is yet again dead for the 6th time in a row already. And Togepi going on to Antonio, dealing a hell of a lot of damage to that Jinx, and even the barrier is not going to save her. Oh my god, they're still fighting on the top lane though. Ribo is trying to fire back, but brother, you're 1 versus 3. You're 1 versus the world. You're not winning it.
I mean, Forsaken, they are just having fun. Togepi for sure, just casually diving an enemy AD carry under the tier 1 tower on the mid lane with no information about enemy jungler's position. You know, playing in between 2 towers on the top lane, not caring about anything. I mean, consequences, they don't exist. We are too strong, brother.
I guess you can say so. And I guess nobody would be able to say anything to you. I mean, that's a pretty solid argument. What is happening right now is starting to turn into a slaughter of devils.one. And Forsaken are still giving away some kills, they're giving away some money to devils.one, but it's nothing compared to how much they are gaining in return. Maybe they are gonna gain something right now on the mid lane, where they find yet another hook onto Dancer, and yet another kill onto Dancer. 7. Make it 7 death for the support of devils.one, and make it the outer turret on the mid lane, unless Matix and Antonio have anything to say about it, but honestly, it looks like a lost cause to them.
Oh, dancer, dancer, what are you dancing? Is it like dance macabre? Because it sure looks like it. You're dancing with the death. 7 deaths already within the 17-minute mark. That's a lot, even for an engaging support. That's a lot, even for Dancer. I mean, he's known for the playstyle as he's going in, often sacrificing his life for the greater cause, for the position, for the CCs. Right now, it just feels like he's dying for free.
Pretty much so, unfortunately. However, some things are happening for devils.one. They are getting the Herald right now on the top lane, so they will be able to get, with the next wave, I believe, they will be able to get this turret, or even without it, and the gold bounty from it as well. But Parasite might have some answer to them, and ultimate on Taribo. TP is coming in, but guess who else is coming in too? GRP going on to Krisha. Krisha goes golden, goes back in with a beautiful 3-man ultimate, beautiful moonfall, but it doesn't matter because he is dead already. And Forsaken are still slaughtering devils.one one after another.
I understood that you got a little bit hyped about this devils.one play, but Forsaken just cooled everybody down.
Yeah.
Very necessary cooling down, you know, just understanding of the weather here in Poland, or actually in pretty much across the whole Europe. It's so hot out there. Forsaken just tried to cool us down, just, you know, cool down the hype. Hey, nothing is happening. It's just, you know, the next day in the office while we are basically winning against anybody with such a style. So GRP is going to pay for his little adventure on the bot lane. You know, he tried to do some crazy things. It's not allowed in here. devils.one are still defending, but the defense, it's not as strong as they wanted it.
Nope. And can you tell me what exactly happened here? Because devils.one were trying, and I did like this ultimate from Krisha, but it led to nothing.
I mean, first of all, TP coming from the side of Xante, that was the turning point for them, but the Honor Parasite get out of the ultimate of Diana, so GRP jumped over it, so Krisha did minimal amount of damage, and then just, you know, Zeri appears with like 2 items or so, and without Diana, with Xante and Korotkiy, very poorly itemized, you don't have the damage to even get a single elimination. Korotkiy with just the Trinity Force. Xante with just a lot of armor that's not converting so well into the damage output. You are not able to kill anybody. And Forsaken just secured another Drake. It's the Mountain Drake, so even more tankiness coming their way.
Huh? Ribu. Okay, no, Ribu is getting away from this. Looked like he was a dead cause as well, but it's only because Tongi was not around. Tongi is on 3 items. Tongi is 814. That's why when you look at Matik's inventory, you're like, yeah, that double AD resistance kind of makes sense, but at the same time, Matix is still dying, and it's not only Tongi who is dealing the damage. There is also Xionor. There's also Rafin, who was trying to throw in the ultimate, but just, you know, somewhere in the bushes. But Forsaken are not only dealing damage to devils.one champions, they're also dealing damage to the structures and sometimes to themselves, because Tongi needs to run away with this little health, and it looks like Parasite is going to be sacrificed to devils.one. Get something a little bit more crumbs for you to eat.
Tongi misplayed badly, really badly,
Oy.
losing both summoners. So GRP tried to equalize the score, getting onto Ribu, but he cannot, as the cavalry just arrived. They are not going to catch GRP, but in the end they are going to save Ribu's lives. It is a valuable asset right now. It's still farming towards the second item. If they were a little bit more and better itemized, then maybe it was an angle for the Nasher, but not in the current state of Jinx.
No. 2 items on Jinx, 1.5 item on Korotkiy. Well, we're talking about 3 on Zeri and 2 on Lucian. And 2 on Xionor on top of that, on that front. This is really unfortunate for devils.one because they're simply losing in terms of the items by quite a lot. Good things for them is that Krisha has finally completed Zonia, so he's going to be able to go golden again. It is a pretty strong point for Diana, but on top of that, she would like to have some more offensive items. She would love to have, honestly, anything. Realize Nasher's Tooth, Rabadons, of course, to make sure that the burst is actually going to burst Forsaken. But she doesn't have it. She doesn't have the luxury, and it looks like devils.one also do not have the luxury of the Baron, even though they're closing in, but they're on the vision all the time. Can they do anything? Dancer escapes the hook from Parasite, but Togepi is going onto their flank. And it looks like the Baron has been paused for now. It's a hold.
That was a weird decision. At the first sight, I was thinking, okay, they just want to bait out the TP, but hey, it was Ravin who used the teleport first, and Ribu used it in response, so they equalized the situation of having and not having this summoner spell. Disengaged, lost the tower, that wasn't so clever. Maybe this engage will be...
Maybe, because Parasite is tanking a lot of damage right now. Is he gonna survive? Because Krisha is going in, immediately goes golden after the ultimate, deals some decent damage, but has even more damage thrown at him. Tongi goes in with the ultimate, secures 1 kill, secures another kill to Ruffin, and Togepi in the meantime tries to secure the inhibitor on the top lane. Things look so good for Forsaken.
If only the Super Mega Death Rocket connected, that would have been the double kill for Antonio, but no, not today, not this time. It's once again a one fight for Forsaken. Maybe this duel will go the other side. No, it just disengages.
Yep, and in good time, because the Baron has just been claimed by Forsaken. They have the Baron buff for themselves, which means they can continue push. And in less than 40 seconds, the fourth Drake of the game is going to spawn, so they can go and claim it and claim the Mountain Sword that is going to help them even further with the survivability against devils.one engage. And now, look at that. They are taking the Dragon. They have an open inhibitor on the top lane. Tell me, Majutek, what happens next?
Depends on how Forsaken would love to play it. I would suggest putting Camille on the bot lane, the rest of the team scatter around mid and top, try to synchronize the waves, go for all 3 inhibitors and just end the game. Will it happen, or will they just win another fight?
And maybe they just choose to win another fight, because they are going in with a beautiful hack slash from Parasite. They yet again claim Dancer, but that's no news to anybody. Togepi going in onto Krisha with a really good stun through the wall. Tongi, the moment he props the ultimate, it's so much damage onto everybody from devils.one. They have to retreat from this wall, but can they run away far enough? Because Parasite is still chasing, same as Tongi. And now everybody from Forsaken, because they've just removed this turret, while Togepi is doing the same on the mid lane.
Looking at the death timers, it will be only Krisha dead after these 2 inhibitors will go down. So I'm not sure if Forsaken wants to end it right here, right now. They will surely try.
Or maybe they do, but Parasite is going to go down, taking a little bit more than he can chew. Togepi going in, beautiful ultimate onto Antonio. A lot of damage, but not enough. Antonio still lives, even with Ignite on his head. You cannot say the same about Togepi though, and that means that Forsaken cannot finish the game yet. Oh, wait, a TP. Maddox trying to chase somebody's Uner is very low. That looks like a good call from devils.one. Slowed down and killed. Here you go.
Is it going to interrupt the Drake? Probably will, because Matix is already there. Ravin needs to leave it here, or maybe with Tongi on 3 items, maybe they will look for a fight. No, doesn't look like...
No, they give away 1 Drake to Krisha. Finally, something the devils.one managed to find on the map.
How did they actually misplay this? I believe it was, Parasite going in, Hook landing onto Antonio, but the rest of the team wasn't in a position. So they went too deep under the 2 towers of the Nexus, of the base of the blue team, and it ended up poorly for them. I mean, losing a couple of kills here and there on the Drake is not the end of the world, but still they could have played it a little bit better and end the game by now.
They could have, and that would have been a really quick 24-minute game then. But for now, they found Dancer yet again in his own jungle. And it doesn't look like this time poor Dancer yet again can escape. This is his 10th death in this game. Maybe Krisha will have another one, because Togepi yet again is going with the stun on him. But no, Maddox is around. That scares Togepi away. There is no Baron buff on Forsaken right now, but they have a 1 inhibitor down. They have another inhibitor completely open. Actually, it's 2 inhibitors down, I believe. And now it's going to be 3, and now it's going to be Antonio down. What is this damage from Tongi? Antonio barely escapes with a flash, but can his game still survive, still endure after that? I don't think so, because it looks like Forsaken this time are trying to go for the end of the game to get me going on to Rebo, very aggressive, but he's one against many. One kill is going to be taken by sacrificing to Gepi. In exchange, Tongi still dealing a lot of damage, surviving somehow. The shields are insane. He's going down, but the medians are going to finish the job regardless. It doesn't matter. It is 15-26 in the end, and this is the shatter of devils.one dreams to get into the playoffs.
It is the end of the journey for devils.one, chasing the dream of playoffs in this season. But hey, it was a nice run. They had a nice fight here and there in this game. Overall, we can all agree that Forsaken were just one level above them.
Just to be absolutely clear, yeah, we gotta say that devils.one are not officially out of the competition for playoffs, but we already discussed the schedule that is awaiting them on the last week of the regular season, and it doesn't look any favorable for them whatsoever. So I would say this game was a must for them to win, and unfortunately, they could not secure the victory, which means Forsaken are right now feeling rather good, and devils.one should be extremely worried about what's to happen.
Yeah, before coming to this game, they had like, what, 5% chances of getting into the playoffs. Right now, it's around 1%.
Yeah.
Still a possible chance, but let's be realistic. Winning against Zero Tenacity the next week will be the hardest game for them in the whole season this time. So I'm not expecting devils.one to win. I'm still going to cheer for them. I still would love to see a miracle happen, but we all know League of Legends, these things happen, but rather not so often.
Not really, no. We have seen some miracle runs. We have seen them start and end in the very end of regular splits of Ultraliga. But yet again, considering that they still need to win through Zero Tenacity, and they need to hope that Grapes are going to lose their games, it's too many variables in their situation. So it does feel like, even though it's not official yet, we can assume that we're not seeing devils.one after the end of regular split.
I mean, in the end, if we are wrong and if devils.one is going to make it, we will have to apologize for disregarding their chances at the end of this game. But still, that was a great game from Forsaken. They showed us a real strength on the first half of the split, not losing a single one. Then a little struggle came in. You know, they lost the game here, and they lost against Anonymo. That was the most surprising one. But for me, it still feels like top 2 or top 3 strongest teams in Ultraliga currently, and I would be a proud Ultraliga fan sending them towards EMEA Masters.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, 100%. But that the way you phrased what you just said makes me want to ask you a question. Do you think right now Forsaken are top 3 or top 2?
I mean,
Or top
I
1,
would
maybe?
say I would say top 3, mostly because they had a great start, but it doesn't matter how good of your start is. It matters how you end. And for me, it feels like back to the game, they scaled and maybe even a little outscaled Forsaken. Just looking at yesterday's game, you know, bringing in emergency sub Salami, who casually just is getting MVP of the game. For
Yeah.
me, it just shows the real strength, not only of the starting roster of this 5 men, but the whole organization plus coaching staff that is currently working with them. It feels like this small of a difference, but yeah, I would say that Forsaken are top 3 right now.
You know what? I think you convinced me. I think, yeah, it does sound reasonable that Forsaken are the top 3, and back to the game with all the improvement and all the resilience they have showed us, are the top 2 that we have in Ultraliga right now. But they would still need to win today, and they're going to be playing against Cryptocraft, actually, to make sure that they still stay on this second place. Because right now they are there, but with the victory that Forsaken just scored for themselves, it's getting a little bit dangerous there.
This victory for Back to the Game might seal the deal for the second place, because the next week
Yeah.
is like Iron Wolves and Orbit Anonymo, both teams without any chances. We know how dangerous those teams without any chances and hopes could be,
Mhm.
but let's be realistic. It's a different caliber of a team. Back to the Game are aiming towards at least the second place this season and EMEA Masters, and those teams are aiming at staying in the league. For Orbit Anonymo, it shouldn't be a problem. For Iron Wolves, on the other hand, they need a win or two to not end up on the last place, to acquire some more championship points and stay in the league.
I wonder how the relegations are going to look like, to be honest, because right now, so approximately who might be facing the relegation in the end of this split, in the end of the season?
It's either Matty USA LODIS, because of the 0 points from spring and not making playoffs in this split this season, but it also might be Iron Wolves, because of the placement on the spring and looks like a real poor placement on the summer.
Yeah,
So
it's
both teams.
1 to 10 so far, and next week they are playing Forsaken and Back to the Game. It doesn't look like they have too many chances to improve their situation, so most likely, yeah, Wolves are going to be one of those teams that we'll see on the relegation tournament.
And the relegation tournament, I mean, it's not the end of the world for the
Of
teams from
course.
the first division. In the last 2 years, second div teams were constantly winning. Firstly, Gripchacraft, then Back to the Game, devils.one got promoted, Lodis got promoted because of some problems with the first division team. So a lot of newcomers. Maybe it's time for Ultraliga to close the gap between those two leagues and save some teams, create this this difference, a little bit of a skill level between the second div and the first div. Because for me, for a fan of a second div, for the last year and a half, it looks like there's no difference between the bottom teams of the first division and the top teams of the second division. Just look at Matty USA LODIS, GRP, devils.one, and Back to the Game. I mean,
But let's stay on the top of the scoreboard of Division 1 for the moment, because we had the pleasure of having Lord, the CEO of a Forsaken team, joining us for the interview. Hello, congratulations for yet another victory for your team. And do tell us, since it is almost the end of the regular split for you, are you ready? Are you not ready, sorry. Are you rather satisfied with how your team is looking before approaching the playoffs?
no.
Yeah.
No, we can't hear you, Lord.
Okay, let's see if it can be solved.
I'm sure he will find a way.
I hope so.
Okay, maybe now it's
Oh,
Yes.
yes, nice, because I was pretty scared that I did some mistake. Thanks. And about the question, not really. I guess we have awesome players, but we don't have awesome team. So we are getting our time and resources and putting everything into making good players into great team. Yeah. So like Back to the Game is great example of great team with, I would say, not the best players. So we want to adapt like they did, since we are not only looking to be like second or first in Ultraliga, but to actually show our region the best way we can at EMEA Masters. Yeah. So
And-
we don't want to lose every game like some other teams did in the past.
Yeah. But then I got the question to you, sorry. What do you think makes a good team?
Like thinking is probably the hardest and the most valuable thing about great teams. Like they need to think as one organism. Like they need to know that every decision they make is not only for them but for other players, and other players benefit from it or need to do something about it. So like everything is connected, like basically human body, like blood is flowing to the brain and making it work and everything like that.
So we understand that you still have some time to prepare the really good players to become a really, really good team. Let's forget about the next week. You have already secured the playoffs. You don't need those two best of ones. Let's focus on the most important topic, the playoffs and the finals. Will you be ready as a team for the best of fives? And the next actually follow-up questions, will you be ready for the finals itself? Just talking about the players that need to possibly arrive to the LAN event.
Yeah, we are right now thinking about the LAN event in Gdańsk. So like we want to play there because it's awesome experience for players, for us, for every fan, yeah. So we want to go there, but if we are going there, we want to be the best version of ourselves. Like we want to be the contenders that actually can take everything. So like win the whole thing. Because if we are not sure that we can win it, then there's no point.
That's an interesting approach. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lord. And thank you very much for coming to this interview with us. We appreciate having your insight on what's going on with the team. But before we can let you go, we have this tradition before you go. If you want to give any greeting or shout out to anybody, including in your native language, you can do so right now.
Okay, so I will do it in Polish since I have to do it. So bardzo chciałbym podziękować mojej narzeczonej, która wytrzymuje ze mną każdego dnia, mimo że mega dużo czasu poświęcam na polską scenę League of Legends. Także Aga, bardzo Ci dziękuję i chciałbym też podziękować wszystkim fanom i osobom, które wspierają Forsaken, bo gdyby nie wy, to też nas by nie było i wasze zaangażowanie, to, że jesteście, pokazuje, że to ma sens i to pokazuje też, że polska scena ma prawo bytu i jest jedną z piękniejszych scen, jeżeli chodzi o ludzi. Tylko teraz przekujmy to w jakieś fajne rzeczy z infrastruktury, nie? Więc myślę, że damy radę, mamy fajnych ludzi, trochę zaangażowania i pokażemy, na co nas stać. So yeah, that's all from me.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much once again, Lord, and good luck to you and your team in the upcoming games.
Thanks. I hope to see you soon.
We hope so too. See you.
Yeah, so bye-bye.
Well, that was a touching speech from the side of the CEO of Forsaken in Polish. So if you didn't understand this, I recommend translating it. It was a nice message for not only his fiancée, but actually friends, family, and everybody around the organization. So once again, congratulations to Forsaken and a well-needed break for us and you too, viewers. We have only a couple of minutes before starting with the match number 2, so grab your drink and be ready.
Sí, ¿vos de qué parte sos?
Yo de aquí.
Ah, mira,
¿Tú de qué parte eres?
del norte.
Oh man, I feel like that was my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, hey, not bad. Same. I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Wjedź do elektryzującego świata e-sportu i zagraj z nami. Moc energii zapewnia elektryczna Kia EV6.
All right, everybody, gather around here after a real short break. I hope that you get your drinks, you get your snacks, and you are ready for next upcoming match. We'll have another break, so you can refill your bottle.
Okay.
You can cool down in this very, very hot day. But for the next 30, maybe 40 minutes, I need your full attention, everybody.
Okay. Okay.
I got your attention?
You always have my attention.
Zero Tenacity playing. We
Good.
know that they are going to play a nice or at least decent League of Legends. They actually used to play a phenomenal League of Legends for like the entire year, not counting some mistakes. But then on the other hand, it's Orbit Anonymo. Yeah, they used to play good League of Legends, and then something changed. The full roster changed, the coach changed, the approach to playing League changed, and the results also changed. Is it going to be a different match than what we saw in the first half of the split, or is it going to be the same? I'm leaving the question to y'all.
I would dare to say that the result of the match is going to be the same as what we saw in the beginning of the split, but maybe the game itself is going to look a little bit different. Because while we see a lot of improvement from Zero Tenacity, we also do see some improvement from Orbit Anonymo's players as well. I'm not saying it's enough. I'm not saying it's enough to beat Zero Tenacity, definitely not. But it is still the growth and we have to respect it. But let's see if I'm correct or not. Maybe, you know, Orbit Anonymo are going to destroy Zero Tenacity or something. But Zero Tenacity are on the blue side, Orbit Anonymo on the red side.
Orbit Anonymo with a possible last pick counter to something. I am thinking that maybe top lane should be the pick, yet he's performing. For me, it feels like he's the best player of this roster, so maybe put more faith into him, let him have the last pick, and maybe something will happen. Right now, bans are happening. Orbit Anonymo going with the standard approach, banning really, really strong picks like Rumble, starting with this one, and Zero Tenacity more into target banning of what enemy team could play.
Yeah, no LeBlanc. No Sejuani for Ein cards either, and no Maokai for Ein cards either. They know that he prefers to play lately more of those enabling junglers, more of those engaging junglers, and they are removing as much of those as possible, especially those AP junglers, because we're still assuming that most likely there is going to be this double AD meta, even though with Pump on the mid lane, Pump really does love his Ahri, and he goes for her whenever it's possible.
Did he went with the faker skin yesterday? If
Yeah.
I remember correctly. Yeah. So
We
that's-
haven't been able to recognize which one it was. It was if it was Reason Legend or Immortalized, but it doesn't matter. It was the faker skin.
was it the faker's performance?
I would rather not elaborate on that.
Right. Zero Tenacity starting the draft with the Zyra onto the jungle, getting a lot of highlights recently. First, it appeared in second Ultraliga. Yeah, you probably don't know about it, but in LEC, like one of the first weeks by Elioya. Right now, it's being spammed off cooldown pretty much whenever she's open.
Yeah, and I believe she still has a 100% win rate in Ultraliga.
Oh.
So that tells you something. But what also tells you something is the fact that Orbit Anonymo are going for unconventional picks. That's going to be Vi in the jungle and that very Ahri for pump on the mid lane. We can only wonder which skin it's going to be this time, but what's important is that Vi pick actually. It's going to be really useful into Zyra because Zyra has no escape of her own. She's really vulnerable. Somebody is up close with her. Same goes for Ashe actually. The next pick of Zero Tenacity most likely going again into Harpoon's hands.
Yep, Harpoon is either playing Kalista or Ashe, and he's constantly tweeting that, hey, everybody is letting this and this champion open, and I'm tired of playing them, but I will be playing them because they are OP. I mean, sounds fair to me.
Yeah.
Kofte is grabbing a Korotkiy for himself in the matchup against Ahri. Low kill pressure from the side of Korotkiy, but very high scaling possibility for him if the game goes any longer than 20-something minutes. Zero Tenacity showed us that they are more than capable of ending the games before the 25-minute mark.
They are. They can rush the games. They have learned, I would say, to rush the games because we saw them playing a lot around their scaling, which was an interesting matchup with Orbit and Anonymo in the previous split because both the teams were pretty much going with the same playstyle. But they have adapted, they have worked on it, and you can clearly see the progress in that sense. They have been able to close up the games rather quickly in the recent matches. We'll see if it's going to be the case today because so far there is Ezreal picked up for Orbit and Anonymo, assuming for the moment that it's going to be for Capo. And more bans are pouring in. Of course, Camille versus Yeti, his signature pick, is going to be removed by Zero Tenacity. Braum, that works so well, synergizes so good with Ashe, is going to be removed by Orbit and Anonymo.
I'm wondering what the second ban for Zero Tenacity is going to be. Are they still going to target Yeti with bans like Jax, Gwen? I don't know, because you should be a little bit scared about the last pick coming from Orbit and Anonymo Esports. They could spice some things up on the top lane and even call Vi plus Ahri to this very side of the map and just 3-man dive. No, it's going to be Rakan actually, so they are leaving a couple of options open for Yeti.
Does it look like Nautilus angle for Orbit and Anonymo? Because they've banned out Braum, who works good into him, and they can have really good engage on their side. It's not giving Nautilus to Zero Tenacity, but no, they decided Leona is going to be a better pair, and honestly, she is a pretty good pair with Ezreal, so that makes sense.
Oh, Harpoon is hovering another AD carry. Does it mean that Ashe is going to be support? No, he's quickly breaking from this hover and just trying to secure the best support for his friend Erdota. Now the last pick, what Melonic is going to blindly play. Usually it's stuff like, like the usual tank or Sion or maybe a Renekton because he has decent matchups on the top lane. But this time Melonic decides, okay guys, it's your turn to carry. I'm just going to be farming till level 14 and they all will join the fights.
Well, that's interesting because there is... Okay, now Gwen actually fixes what I wanted to point out as a weakness for Orbit Anonymous draft because they wouldn't have had a rather solid DPS type of magic damage against the front line of Zero Tenacity, and they have a lot of it with Ornn and Nautilus. That's more than enough, honestly. But now with Gwen, it does solve it because she is still, of course, bringing in the burst, but she can DPS that one rather nicely, especially when she is on the 2 items. Her true damage is going to be really good against him. Now, do I still like this draft? I don't know, but I first want to hear your opinion about it.
First of all, I really love the Gwen pick. You are winning the lane after like one item against Ornn easily, and you are providing a lot not only to taking the game by the side lane, but actually to the team fight. Well, you have Leona, Vi, great setup for Gwen to go into it. If you were to hide the teams and the nicknames, and we're just looking at the compositions, I would actually went with the right draft. It has quite a lot of opportunities to pick up some kills with Vi-Leona combo, with Ahri as well, great follow-up, and I just feel like they went with the best possible pick on R5, not only countering the Ornn, but actually adding what was lacking to the whole composition.
Yes, I think the R5 was beautifully executed by Orbit Anonymo. Let's see if the execution in the game itself is going to be as beautiful as before. Oh, that is a pretty skin for Ahri. That's not Faker anymore. That is the cute little fox from the Spirit Blossom. I love this skin so much, by the way, mostly because of the little fox. But yet again, we will see if I will love the performance of Orbit Anonymo as much as I do love the skin for a pump. Welcome, everybody, to game number 2 of today's Zero Tenacity. We have nothing to lose versus Orbit Anonymo, who are in the same position, but it doesn't sound as hopeful for them.
Welcome. Hello, everybody, and I'm going to start with a question. Do Ahri have a not so pretty skin? Let's put it this way, because I wouldn't dare call any of those skins ugly.
Listen. After the rework, I don't like the new Foxfire Ahri skin. I think it was beautiful before the rework. Now I think the colors are overly saturated and the whole fiery vibe is kind of gone off her. I liked her more before rework. Now I play on it that much. Other than that, Dynasty Ahri, because she has double set of ears and I hate it. She has the fox ears and she has the human ears. Like, that makes no sense. What do you want to hear, bestie?
On Dynasty Ahri, I will agree 100%. That's not the best approach of making the skin, as you just mentioned. And even though Pump took a different skin, a prettier one, he's still getting a heavy beating. Kofte is having no mercy.
Hey, Kofte did a really smart thing there. He went around the lane, he waited until Ahri used her Q, and then he went in with a lot of damage, knowing that she's not going to be able to answer with anything. And because of that, Pump is now drinking the little potions. Pump is now trying to stay as safe next to the turret as possible, so pretty much whatever Kofte wanted to do, he achieved all of it. And he's in control of the lane as a result.
And the best approach was to wait for Ahri to use her Q. Then she will only have some autos, dealing like 40-something, 50 damage, and Korotkiy is out the magic, all of it. So nice approach on level 1. But what I'm more curious about is how quick Blurzor could finish the full clear. I've seen some Zyras doing it below 3 minutes.
He's not going to be below 3 minutes, but he's going to be really close to it, and he's going to be really ahead of Ironcards because he's already finishing his first clear. Actually, wait, he still has 7 seconds. Maybe he is.
Yeah, but he has smite. He's going to have a smite exactly
under
at like
3 minutes.
Yes.
Yes, and now he's going for the early scuttle. He gets it, he recalls, and he's really ahead of Ironcards. He even can go for a double scuttle, or they could go for Pump, because Pump, he has to recall right now. There is no way he's staying on this lane. It's too dangerous.
Yeah, and I have a question. What is Ironcards doing? He went from red to blue to raptors to golems right now. Basically, this pathing, in my opinion, makes no sense, and he's leaving all the lanes open, just inviting enemy team to be ganked. Erdota is even moving in between 2 towers, not caring about anything because Ironcards is not there.
They wanted to stop the recall from Pump, and it did work for them. He had to stay, he has to grab this wave, which means a beautiful recall for Kofte. He's winning this by far on this mid lane. But yeah, I'm glad that he said it, but what? Erdota is just... I don't know, this is Giga Chad move right there. He's
was
walking
just
around
falling in the middle of the lane.
Yeah, I mean, that takes some audacity, and he was punished for having a little bit too much audacity on this lane. But yeah, just very quickly, I'm glad that you pointed out Ironcards' movement around the map, because I wasn't so sure that maybe I wasn't reading something correct myself about his pathing. But yes, it was a weird one. So going double buff, then continuing clear on the bot side of the map, but nothing happened there. Maybe they were assuming that there is going to be a lot of pushing from Zero Tenacity's bot lane, so Einkarts could try and influence it, but then it's 5-3-6. She doesn't really want to do much around the lanes before 6.
I mean, in the end, it wasn't the worst pathing of all. He got the
True.
full clear, and right now he's waiting for his camps to come back to life. I mean, Blurzor got his camps a little bit earlier because Zyra is just better at clearing them. But it looks like Einkart is going to go with the second pathing, you know, Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, Golems, and probably end on like Grabbies near level 6. That would be the ideal scenario for him.
Yeah, so going from the bot towards the top, which means there is no control around the Drake left for Anonymo. And when he finishes his clear in the bot part of the river, Blurzor, with his bot lane, considering how far they've pushed in, can go in and grab the Drake. They can even start doing it right now. It's Zyra. She doesn't care about pretty much anything in this life. She's gonna take it really quickly, paired up with Harpoon.
Yeah, she only needs like a Nautilus here to tank the Drake instead of her beautiful flowers, so that they could deal damage for a little bit longer. But Harpoon comes in, hey, the wave is pushed, he has nothing to do, so just helping the jungler secure the Drake and not losing pretty much a single creep in the exchange.
Oh, the top lane though is having an exchange because the Forge Code has been called together with snips from Yeti, but that results in a standoff, just 2 ultimates used between the top laners, and that's it. Oh, the bot lane though, wait, are they? Are you? No, he's just scaring Odin away. It's the typical Nautilus movement. I have Q, I press Q. I respect it.
If I catch you, you have problems. If I don't, then I try again in the next 10 seconds.
In a couple of seconds, exactly, when my Q is off cooldown. I'll do it again, and you can be really sure of that. But now they even have Blurzor around, has been spotted on this ward in the Tribution, because so that is not really going any further. But albeit Anonymo, for them, the situation doesn't really change much, because so that they're still stuck under this turret. The good news for them is that their jungler is doing the Grubbies right now. And let's hope he's gonna steal one of the Grubbies! Oh my god!
What a brave move! I mean, using a lot of mana for this one single shot. You had one shot, one opportunity. He went for it, and he succeeded.
Oh, yes. He did not lose this shot on opportunity. True that. He had an upgraded ultimate.
The big
so
one.
the red one, yeah, the big one. And he just threw it in and stole the Grabby, which means now there is only 2 Grabbies for Anonymo. And if Zero Tenacity go for the next stack, they can still go for the upgraded Grabbies. They can still go for the empowered ones with the 4 or 5 of them. It's totally a possibility. Now, what is not a possibility right now is for Melonic probably to have a safe recall. No, he's going... Oh, no.
Baited.
Oh my god, that was nerve-wracking. But hey, his jungle and his support are around, so maybe they can say something to Yeti about being too much on the top lane, but Yeti's like, whoop, and he doesn't care about anything. He has his own jungler, by the way, around, so maybe it's going to be a little bit of a fighting situation on the top lane, but it doesn't look like anybody's willing to fight anymore.
It just looked like an attempt to crushing this very wave. Is Yeti going to freeze it? Is he going to be that unpleasant to Melonic? No, he's just going to delete this wave and just go to base himself.
He's not that type of the top laners, you know. He's nice to his opponent. His opponent is Ornn. It's hard to kill Ornn, but also Gwen doesn't really care about things that are hard to kill. She still kills them regardless.
After an item or two, but yeah, 100% this might and will eventually happen.
Oh, Blurzor flashes away, but not before the ultimate. The Seasoned Deceased is locked on him, and that is the first blood for Pump. Maybe Kofte is going to be the next one, because Einkars and Pump are still fighting with him. A lot of damage from Pump. Yes, double kill for the Ahri.
Great pickup, and in the end, a great situation for Orbit Anonymo. 2 kills for Ahri that might change the dynamic of this very matchup. Let's look at this once again through the replay. Quick response from Blurzor, but even quicker action from Einkar, splashing away from the ultimate of Zyra, making sure that he's in no danger and not putting the last auto, allowing Pump to secure the double.
Very unfortunate flash from Blurzor. First of all, he died after it. Second of all, it is Zyra without a flash. She doesn't want to be without a flash. It means a lot of vulnerability for her because she literally cannot escape any danger in this case. So 2 kills for Orbit Norma. Both of them are on pump so far, which means right now for Orbit Norma, they have the hero in this story. They have somebody to work around until Gwen is going to come online with like 2 items, most likely. After that, we can talk about shifting the responsibilities a little bit. She actually is trying to speed run a little bit towards that point, really not letting Melonic farm on this lane whatsoever.
Dari is a great champion to be playing around. Just look at the ultimate cooldowns. Pump pretty much already has the Spirit Rush. It's the matter of seconds. Eincards, after a camp or 2, will have the his ultimate, the Season Disease. So I could potentially see with my imagination another repeat gang on the mid lane, this time not focusing on Blurzor. Maybe if he's around without the flash, that's an easy pickup, but mostly burning the flash of Korotkiy. Korotkiy has no TP, no packages, so he will be as easy of a target as pretty much Zyra.
And the action on the mid lane is going to be beneficial for Orbit Norma now in terms of the timing, because they have just recalled. There is, for example, a completed item for Eincards, the Sundered Sky, there is Malignance for Pump, and there is Drake spawning right here, right now, the second Drake of the game. Doesn't look like any of the top laners will be interested in joining because the Needlework has been spawned by Yeti, and he's almost going for a kill on Melonic, but doesn't manage to find the last sleep thanks to the flash. Bot lane is fighting. In the meantime, Wooden going in with a solar flare, but a beautiful ultimate from Blurzor. Can't he change anything? He's probably going to change his own life because he is dead. Pam takes another kill. Is trying to get away because he is almost down himself. Uden very low, runs away from Korotkiy, doesn't run away from Korotkiy. That is a correction. Can Eincards have a correction for himself and run away from Melonic? Looks like yes.
The appearance of Melonic was saving the day for Zero Tenacity, otherwise it would have been a slaughter. I mean, they gave up on 2 players already. Erdota with a nice attempt of saving Harpoon succeeds in the action of saving his AD carry, but not in saving his own life. In the end, Melonic coming in gave the kill for Korotkiy, saved the Drake, but gave up on 2 plays on the top lane. Gwen was already hard to deal with. Right now, with additional boost of like 300 more gold coming from the plate, it will be even harder. She just finished the first item while Melonic is, you know, stacking magic resists. That's a good information, but struggling on finishing the first item.
Do tell me. Let's make a wild prediction right now. No, it's only 12 minutes in the game. It's a little bit early for this. I want you to tell me, with 1-4, with a 3-0 Ahri and Gwen already with the first item, who do you think has better chances of winning this game now? Or does it not matter for Orbit Norma that they're ahead?
Once again, if we were to not display the names, the tags, the teams and everything, I would go with the red draft and a red team in a current situation. It feels like a nice acceleration of things happening while Ahri is 3-0-1, but it's Zero Tenacity in the end. You know, for me, it feels like the team fighting abilities of these 5 guys is on the top-notch level in Ultraliga.
Yeah. I gotta agree with you. I'm also looking forward to a big team fight, especially when the first items are gonna be completed for everybody, because now, for example, finally the Kenny Recurrent Easter for Melonic going to help him a lot on the top lane, especially since Yeti is going with the Nashor Student, the first item, not the Riftmaker for more survivability, but Nashor Student, he's dealing damage, but you can see Melonic is able to deal some back to him.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit more health, I assume. Maybe an anti-heal like Bramble Vest or so. And then, you know, things should be good. He's not getting camped on the top lane. I mean, who's camping Ornn? Who's trying to dive Ornn? That's a death sentence for the diving team. So Eincards will be focusing mostly on other parts of the map, leaving Melonic alone, and he's doing pretty okay right now playing this 1v1. Yet he realizes that he's no longer, you know, stomping this lane in terms of damage, so just looking for a plant here and there, for an opportunity to just hide into the fog of war and maybe look for something as Uden is looking, but straight into the eyes of her, it seems.
Anchors, did he go for a steal on those? I think he did. I think he did steal.
I
You know what, doesn't matter. He went in style and he went out absolutely unpunished. Norbert and Norma are still staying on the bot lane, while Zero Tenacity will be granted pretty much free recall. Good for them, and good timing, because in the top lane the Herald has spawned, but on the top lane, Yeti might despawn very soon, going extremely low. Finally, for Melonic, things are working out.
Melonic had no mana.
Oh, Blurzer. Oh no, I've seen that already happening. Blurzer getting caught with a season disease, but this time Ardori is around, trying to tank as much damage as possible. And Koft is bringing his own damage, and 9 cards goes down to Harpoon without taking down Ardori himself.
And that's a poor execution of things. I mean, Pump was around indeed, and they tried to pull up the same trick that as they used to a couple of minutes ago, but you went deeply into the enemy jungle without the assistance of either Israel or Leona. That wasn't the most clever decision from the side of Orbit Anonymo, and Harpoon is more than happy about taking not only the kill, but actually the double buff.
Oh, actually, yes. Now he's a little bit scary, I would say, especially if you compare him to Kefo. There is what, more than 1,000 of gold difference between the 80 carries. I'm not going to calculate, I ain't doing that. But the overall difference between the teams is going to get bigger now, because Zero Tenacity have just grabbed the Herald for themselves. And now the gold is pretty much dead even. But when this Herald is released, for sure that is going to change the picture, because Zero Tenacity tend to utilize those Heralds rather well. Now they can maybe utilize her daughter's hook that he found onto Udon, but that's all they wanted. They simply wanted to scare Orbit and Anonymo away.
Pump was thinking about the rotation maybe here and there, and Einkard is around, so maybe some more action will happen on the bot lane, but maybe. But I think that Harpoon could decide to just going back to base, cashed out cool, you know, just getting an elimination earlier, so he could go for some items. You've asked me a couple of minutes ago, what do I predict about this match, and would I go with Orbit Anonymo, as they were leading pretty nicely in the early game. Right now, yeah, we do see 3-0 Ari, nothing has changed, but they slowed down. They stopped applying pressure off cooldown of their ultimate. They allowed Zero Tenacity, for example, Kofta and Harpoon, to farm up, to gather first items, alongside Blurzor. He also has Leandris as well. They got 4 Grabbies, they got Herald, they are setting up for something right now. It doesn't look like a Drake, but they are grouping around the mid lane, so maybe they will play with an arrow, with the Ornn ultimate. For me, it feels like Zero Tenacity have just warmed up and they are ready for the real fight.
No, hey, the first items are in the inventory, so that is the moment when Zero Tenacity can finally start rolling. Unfortunate news, it's that they are not fighting for this Drake right now, and we are talking about the Hex Soul. Yes, it is going to be the Hex Soul because it's the 3rd Drake of the game, but it's only the 2nd Drake for Anonymous, so not too much loss for Zero Tenacity if they can find a cross-map lane. With Blurzer on the top lane, the plan is to open up this turret in the top lane, try to open up the inner one as much as possible, and then maybe try to fish for an early Baron with Zyra. What do you say?
There is a possibility, not only with Zyra, but with Korotkiy. I mean, 2 AD carries with a lot of damage. Not sure about going for it right on the spawn. I'm more concerned about rotating pretty much 5 people to secure 1 tower on the map and not losing anything. That was a great read of a situation from Zero Tenacity. They indeed invested 5 men onto the top lane, but didn't lose anything in the process, not even a single wave.
I mean, they did lose a Drake, kind of, but that was already a given when they decided to opt for the top lane and go for a play there. So yes, they didn't lose much afterwards, they can still continue pushing, and now with the top lane open, they have a lot of split push possibilities. The only issue with split push though is something we're looking at right now, it's Yeti. An item and a half, he's actually completely skipping Rootmaker this time, so it's going to be Nashor's Tooth and Crypt Bloom for the time being as he's built, and he is a really good split pusher. Gwen cuts through the turrets so quickly. Gwen destroys the medium waves. She's going to be a problem for Zero Tenacity.
Quick note, Gwen is not allowed to buy, was it
Malignance.
Riftmaker? No, it was Malignance, you're right.
Malignance.
I was
Riftmaker
mistaken.
should still be allowed, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Or maybe,
So,
I don't know something.
it should be.
Mhm.
But it's interesting that Yeti is skipping on that. I mean, there's like only one real tank and one melee champion that we are going to be playing against. Nautilus most likely will just go in, use all of his spells, and then go back to regenerate some of the health from Warmog, or just stay in the team fight till the last breath. So maybe going with a more bursty version of Gwen that you could just on 2 or 3 uses of your ultimate try and delete Ash or something. I don't know. I'm not a top laner, I'm not a Gwen player. I trust Yeti in what he's doing.
That means, however, that Melodic will have a pretty decent chance of not letting Yeti do whatever the plan for him is in the end, because look at him, finally level 13, and that means the money is starting to pour in, and not the money, sorry, rather the items, the upgraded items. He upgraded his Cunning Recurrent. Is it gonna be enough now? Against Pop and Iron cards, he doesn't want to check it out. He flashes over the wall, goes back to his turret, stopping Pump from potentially destroying this turret.
Felt like a flash for control ward. I mean, Melonic spotted Ironcard like half of a second earlier. Maybe he decided that, yeah, I'm going to burn flash either way, so why not take the control ward with it? But that's a history, as the tower on the bot and on the top lane are a history as well. Everybody is trying to use the moment of not fighting 5v5 to escalate the lead for their team. Right now, the gold is pretty much dead even. No differences whatsoever. Everybody is farming up. Everybody is getting ready for what looks like the 4th Drake of the day, of this match, I mean.
That's a fancy way to stop a recall, if I've ever seen one. But now it's going to stop Uden from staying alive on this in this game. Zero Tenacity found a -1. Found a lot of damage, found a pretty good opening to put their own vision control around the Baron. Not that they're going to commit to it now, of course, but again, it's just the foundation for them to work around this Baron because they're really committed towards it. But now I'd like to see them to shift towards the bot part of the map. Less than a minute before the Drake is going to spawn. We're still talking about the Hex Soul, one of the best souls in the game. For Harpoon, it's going to be insanely good. For Zyre, with all the ability haste, pretty much the same. It is a must-have soul, in my opinion, for both of the teams.
It is, and we are surely going to see a fight here soon. Killing Leona a couple of seconds ago didn't change a thing. It was a nice pickup. It was 300 gold, so great to have. And a nice showcase of Harpoon ability to snipe enemies across the map. But the real combat will start soon, in my opinion, as pretty much everybody is grouping around Drake. Only Kofte and Yeti not attending to the party right now, but soon they should, or maybe one of them will, because the fight on the top lane starts.
Whoever stays alive will probably do, but Yeti's dealing so much damage to Kofte. Honestly, the damage is almost equal. Kofte doesn't have another upgraded ultimate, so he cannot go for kill confirm for Yeti. But Yeti cannot do so either, which means it's a stalemate on the top lane. Neither of the top laners are available at the moment. However, Orbit and Anonymo looking for a way maybe to go into Zero Tenacity, have absolutely no vision in the pit. Pump is looking for a flank. Now they see some things at least, but also Pump has been spotted on this ward himself, escapes the danger, but the Drake is already given away. There is no point to fight anymore, Orbit and Anonymo, but they are giving away Uden to Zero Tenacity. Take this, please. Leave the rest alive. But no, says Melodic, I want more. The Call of the Forge Gods has been spawned, but they cannot close the gap with Orbit and Anonymo. They let them leave for now.
Yeah, they got the Drake plus 1 kill, but what if they will lose 2 towers? Pomp has already taken the tier 1 on the bot lane, and it looked like he's going to work his way through the second, but no, not enough damage. With only 2 grabbies and with only Ahri. She has a Lich Bane, nice addition to the damage, but no, not yet. They are going to go for the tier 1 on the mid lane. So in the end, 2 towers for 1 Drake and an elimination. And hello, Polish broadcasters, but yeah, you wanted to see us, probably.
Okay, so it looks like we have a pause in the game, so we will need to wait for a little while longer. No idea what happened. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe no. Maybe it's going to remain a mystery. Just sit there with us for a little while longer. But can you please break down to me what's happening right now in the game, Majutek? In the state as we left it, who do you think is feeling better right now, and to whom going further into this game is going to benefit them more?
I would start with Orbit Anonymo surprising me by the understanding of how to play the map against Zero Tenacity. If you feel like Zero Tenacity have the upper hand in the team fight because they have Ornn, they have Ash, they can catch you off guard and basically delete, then you need to play around it. You have Gwen, you have Vianari, you can look for a pickup, quick elimination and go back, or maybe play through the sign lane, which they did. They took the tier 1 on the bot, tier 1 on the mid lane, while losing Drake and only one person, and it was a support, it was a Leona, so a great way to play around it. I'm surprised by how they are doing it, and I would go with this, but what I saw was Melonic level 14 or maybe even 15. He's already upgrading items. For Harpoon, that's been deathless, I believe, in this game. For Kofte, playing Korotkiy, and I don't want to introduce you the 3 or 4 items Korotkiy and what he could do. It still feels like in team fights, Zero Tenacity have the upper hand.
We did have the whole discussion with Kasper yesterday during the broadcast about the phenomenon of Polsky Korotkiy, and he did convince me in the end. He did convert me into the charge of Polsky Korotkiy, who is superior and so OP that he should be deleted from the game. I was made to say it on the broadcast, but now I kind of agree with what I said yesterday. Korotkiy is disgustingly OP on 3 items. Plus, his synergy with IE is so damn good. He doesn't need to rush it. He doesn't need to go for it as the first item. But there is always that late game insurance for you with the Korotkiy that when he's on the 3 items, he's going to delete everybody from this game. On top of that, as you said, we add the Ornn. On top of that, we add Zyra, who also is getting stronger and stronger the more items she's getting in, because I saw the mask completed. I think Relay hasn't been completed yet. It's going to be another big step up for her and for the rest of the team. And then you add whatever you want. Maybe another Crypt Bloom even, and she's going to be a killing machine.
Or maybe even like Brabadan's Death Cap or something
maybe.
to
Yeah.
maximize the damage, as you are the solo AP, enemy team have no tank, so probably not so many magic resistances. You have Nautilus in your team, so buying Mercs is pointless, as you don't decrease the time that you are airborne, knocked up into the air. Usually you are going solo AP jungler while you are having Nautilus or Rakan, not Leona in your team, because with Leona, the value of Merc threats actually rises really, really high. So that's an interesting thing to see what Blurzor will be optimizing into. Rylais will be coming shortly. I do believe I saw already a Giant's Belt and a Blasting Wand, if I recall correctly. So really, really close towards this spike. And yeah, team fights should go in favor of Zero Tenacity, but I'm curious to see how Orbit Anonymo will play around it. Will they use Gwen on the side lane and try to 3-man gang the Ornn, get tier 2 or something like that? I don't know, but we are about to find out.
Oh, good questions, and I can't wait to see the answers to them. I already see an answer to one question. Relay has been completed for Zyra. That means additional damage, that means additional slow. That means right now maybe a dead Udon, because he's getting caught in the midst of literally everything that Zero Tenacity have on their hands, and they do not hesitate to throw it at the enemy support.
I was thinking, was it the Nash angle right here, right now, or maybe they are too concerned about Yeti?
They should be. They should be with Yeti on the bot lane, destroying the inner turret there. Now going on to Melonic, dealing quite some decent damage. And Melonic can't really fight back. Gwen is immune to the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. She doesn't care about your control, but she cannot be immune to absolutely everything from 3 members of Zero Tenacity.
That was a close call, Melonic. He didn't use flash, he didn't disengage, he just stood there, tanked the full combo of Gwen and put his life in faith of the teammates that they are going to arrive on time and deal enough damage to get rid of Gwen. In the end, a nice response for Zero Tenacity, but it was Yeti getting another tower, and that's the problem I'm talking about. You are winning fights, you are, catching enemies, but what if they take all of your towers?
What if you take their mid laner, for example? If you're Orbit Anonymo right now, really good pickup from Orbit Anonymo from their mid jungle duo. Tried to go for the second one, but one was already more than enough for him. Orbit Anonymo finding some openings on the map, and they are the ones having an Asher angle right now. They don't have Zyra on their side, but they are still tripping this Baron slowly but surely. Now Yeti is on the mid lane, taking some attention from Zero Tenacity, but they realize that something is off. Something is really suspicious in this Nashor pit, and they find the Nashor on half HP. They are going in. Yeti is still on their flank, very dangerous, but he's busy with Melonic. Uden yet again dead. Leonos die left and right today, apparently. Yeti still alive somehow. Pump is not, however, and it is going to be the Baron for Zero Tenacity. Blurzo steals it away from Orbit Anonymo and steals away the enemy jungler on top of that.
Yeah, so we asked a lot of questions of how Orbit Anonymo are going to play around the strength of Zero Tenacity, and it looks like they misplayed it here. They just invited them to this fight, invited them to this narrow place around the Nashor, and a great usage of Ornn ultimates, great positioning from both Korotkiy and Harpoon, dealing enormous amount of damage, and hey, there you have it. Couple of eliminations and a stolen Nash on top of that. Zero Tenacity are taking the lead.
That's everything Zero Tenacity could have asked for right now, and even more. Now they can push in, now they can go for more aggression. Uden finds Korotkiy with a beautiful solar flare. They are trying to go on him together with Kero, together with Pump, and Pump is going aggressively, finds a kill. Pump around is staying golden. Goes even further. He's going on to Dory, has Uden, has Kero still around. That is going to be a kill confirmed. And Blurzer is stuck in there. Not gonna give a triple kill, but is gonna give a third kill to Orbit Anonymo.
Interesting. Why would you go so aggressively to kill only Leona, which you didn't, and lose 3 players with the Nashor buff? Z10 misplayed it badly. Is it an angle for Orbit Anonymo to come back into the game? I mean, they still need to work on some things, for example, like Drakes and stuff, but that's the beginning. Getting rid of enemy team members with the Nashor buff, and Pump flashing in, going for this elimination, using Zhonya's immediately to avoid any danger whatsoever, then splitting the fight in two, because they know they have enough gap closers and enough damage to secure the triple kill overall.
So that means both teams are 9-9 right now. Both teams are in 2 dragons, and Orbit Anonymo are the first ones in the pit, already taking it. No vision anymore for Zero Tenacity. They are not even going in blindly, not going in at all. Decide not to take the fight and give away the soul point to Orbit Anonymo in exchange for what is the question. They still have the Baron buff on Harpoon. That's why they are threatening this inner turret on the mid lane right now, but their own health bars are being threatened. They cannot overstay their welcome here.
And I don't believe that sieging here is the best idea. Maybe they will force enemy team out and get once again a single elimination onto Uden, but that's it. You are getting nothing more.
Oh, well, it's still a mid turret on the mid lane, an inner turret on the mid lane. That's still 1 kill on top of that. Yeti was looking for some juicy, tricky angle there, maybe trying to go onto the enemy's backline. There is no flash on Blurzer, no flash on Korotkiy, so the backline of Zero Tenacity could be pretty exposed if they were to start a team fight right now. But no fight is going to happen whatsoever. Yeti still on the sidelines, maybe waiting for somebody to come here.
Looks like he's not touching the wave. Melonic is coming here. He feels like he needs to push this wave deeply into the enemy team, but it's already pushing in. So is Melonic really going to take the bait?
I don't know. Is Yeti still going to attack him? It feels like Melonic now is a little bit too far from him. Erdori's around. No, they're not going to go for it in the end. Yeti just hang out in the bash for a little while, but that was more than enough for him. His team, however, is pushing through the top lane right now. No Baron buff for Orbit Anonymo, but an enchanting Crystal Arrow right onto Pam, and Korotkiy is dealing damage on top of this control. Pam barely escapes, still escapes with another trick of his ultimate. He escapes the ultimate from Korotkiy.
That was really close. I don't know how Pump survived it. Maybe because Kofte landed one rocket onto the minion wave. I mean, the minion wave blocked the one rocket that was the missing damage to finish the kill. But in the end, sending a Pump to the base. On his foot, he's not even recalling. He's too scared to press a recall. He's just walking there, you know, losing tempo, losing momentum, allowing Zero Tenacity to regain pretty much full control over the northern side of the rift. We have 1 minute 20 seconds towards the Nashor, so they are preparing a vision, or at least clearing the vision of the enemy team in this area of the map.
Now, look at Ornn. Ornn is level 16, and on top of the fact that that means an upgraded ultimate for him, it also means that now there are 3 more upgraded items in the inventories of his teammates, of his friends. Which means, in terms of Ornn's usability for the team, more damage is not coming the way of Zero Tenacity. They can just keep buying items on top of what they already have, but then look at that. Ashe has only 1 item left, except if she sells her boots, then she goes for the Bloodthirster and something else, maybe Guardian Angel, something of that sort. But still, there is very limited amount of additional damage Zero Tenacity can put on their main carries from this point on. And because of that, I am still concerned about how it's looking for them. They need to find a good win con. Maybe on this Nash they will find something. 23 seconds before it's going to spawn, and there is no definite lead for either of the teams around it just yet.
No lead in terms of gold, no lead in terms of the vision itself. I mean, everybody's just trying to work. They were around the Nashor, setting up the vision and you know, getting control, getting prio here and there. Looks like Zero Tenacity are just going to brutally push through the mid lane and then clear the vision. Maybe even start the Nash as we speak. Yeti just left the bot lane, rotating towards the Nash, or maybe they are going to stall there and wait for Yeti to secure the Drake. I don't believe that Zero Tenacity will allow it, but that's you know, the position they are currently in. They need to guard both objectives.
Because they need both objectives, right? They really need the Drake, because the soul is going to be extremely helpful. At the same time, they need the Dash. They already gave away 1. They would like to have the next one to continue their push with the Ahri and Gwen possibility of split push. Baron would help them try to make this game even more winnable than it is right now. We are 10-9. We are with a tiny gold lead for Zero Tenacity. And we are looking at a potential team fight right now. Einhardt's looking for an angle to Zero Tenacity, but Z10Z see absolutely everything around themselves, and they are slowly but surely chipping out this prio on the mid lane from Orbit Anonymo, which means they have the path towards the Drake open up, but cannot commit to it, cannot commit to the pit. Anybody except for Harpoon, because then Orbit Anonymo could easily threaten the Baron. But you know what, it doesn't matter. Harpoon and Blurs are more than enough to take the Drake, but now Melonic is fighting together with her daughter and Korotkiy with everybody from the side of Orbit Anonymo. Beautiful call of the Forge Court. Einhardt's running away with almost no health available. Uden is already down. Kahbo flashing away, running for his life. Same does Pump with his ultimate, and that means Zero Tenacity won the fight, won the Drake, and are winning the Nash now.
It is the team fighting of Zero Tenacity indeed, but what did Orbit Anonymo do? Basically, they gave up on Drake, they went onto the tankiest member of the blue team, onto Melonic, that were just happily tanking them all. Yeah, gather their children, I'm just waiting for my team to come in and delete you all. Just look at this replay. Yeti, not even a flanking position, not even split pushing, doing anything, and Harpoon can support his team across the whole map. Kofte dealing 3 damage onto the Vi. Vi needs to disengage. Uden trying to sacrifice himself just to, you know, gather the attention around him. But in the end, it was the Drake, it was the Nash, it was the team fight for Zero Tenacity.
The team fight for Zero Tenacity. I love how you put it with the in all capital letters. Now they're pushing in. Now they have Baron buff on, I believe, absolutely everybody in their team. And while they still need to worry about Yeti on the top lane, because he is going to destroy this inner turret there, before that happens, Zero Tenacity should be able to get a hold of this inner turret on the bot lane. And now they can openly threaten the enemy's base. And sooner or later, Yeti will have to turn around because I don't think he can overcommit. Speaking of committing, Melonic is throwing in all the Forge Bolts. Oh, so many ultimates from Zero Tenacity, and all of them onto Kahvo. And Uren is the next one to die right after his AD carry. 2 down for Orbit Anonymo. Yeti, please stop destroying the enemy base. You are needed at your own base. And he is teleporting onto one of the few remaining turrets on his base, but not for long. He's knocked up, goes golden, trying to survive for a little while longer, but it's only a little while. Gwen is immune, but can Gwen be immune for long enough? Actually heals a lot, but that is a lot, but not enough. 15 to 11, and in the end, Zero Tenacity take yet another victory.
That's interesting that Pump is ending this match with the score of 6-1-3. Looks like he basically smurfed throughout the game, but it wasn't enough to secure the win for the team. Right now we are looking at the post-game statistics, a little bit more of a vision score, a little bit more of the gold for Zero Tenacity, but just looking at the game after, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes of the game, everything was going in favor of Zero Tenacity once again.
Wait, let's look at that. Majutek, listen, you're the caster today, so I need your help to break something down. Yeti dealt a lot of damage. More than Melonic, more than Kofte, almost as much as Harpoon. Pump, not as much, but still dealt the damage, had a pretty good KDA, and was in general playing really well. Overall, Orbit Anonymo, we're securing the dragons, we're securing control over the map, we're threatening the enemy's inner turrets, but then everything goes south for them. What exactly went wrong for them, or what went right for Zero Tenacity? How did they win this?
I feel like the game-changing, game-breaking moment was the last Drake that we saw, that Orbit Anonymo basically gave up. They didn't start the Nash immediately. They didn't go for any tower trade. They didn't send Yeti onto the top nor bot to secure the tier 2, maybe tier 3 tower. They didn't go for a fight after. They basically were just standing, looking, you know, from a far distance. Okay, they are taking they took it. So right now, it's now our time to... Okay, they are engaging onto us, and we have nothing to answer with.
Yeah.
Yeti wasn't here. Einkart was basically dead after engaging onto Melonic, the 5k half Ornn. It was the game-changing moment. After that, Nashor and a smooth sail to Nexus.
I like your breakdown, but you know what? I actually want to ask this question to someone else, and I do have the pleasure of having Kofte on the interview with us. Welcome yet again to our interview.
Hello.
Kofte. Always a pleasure to have you here. And I'm going to ask you straight away, how did you win this game?
I mean, like, we were usually winning. Like, we didn't play against Vayari that much, like, lately. Then, so we got caught in early. Like, normally it shouldn't happen, and we would be, like, ahead, like, similar. And game would be much easier. Then after we get Nash, game was still easy. Then I make it hard, because I don't know, I was bored or something. Couldn't focus. I mean, it shouldn't have been hard, but we made it hard for ourselves.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard for you. We are used to Zero Tenacity basically demolishing enemy teams for the last couple of weeks, basically not counting the first week every game. But Orbit Anonymo played decently here and were able to surprise here and there. Please tell me what went through your minds when you saw that they were going pretty much toe-to-toe for the entire game, but then on the third Drake into the Nash, they basically were staying AFK, letting you take the Drake, letting you, or actually not gaining control over the Baron Nashor, and then engaging into the Ornn. From your perspective,
Yeah.
What were
I mean, they
doing?
didn't play that well. Like, they could have let Gwen's side, like, she would do a lot, but they just decided to do nothing, and we get something. Like, normally we should scale and we can win fights, but still Gwen is a threat on site. But they didn't use it, so we didn't even need to stop it. Normally, like, they have good comp to control early, so they will, of course, they should be stronger and a bit ahead. And we shouldn't finish the game as early as usual with this comp. but we made mistakes, so it would be even harder. So it was this longer game.
Now, with this regular season being almost over, only 1 week left of it, how prepared are Zero Tenacity, not even for the playoffs, but for EMEA Masters?
I mean, normally we play much better than today, so we are normally confident, but today was a maybe wake up thing or something. So we will focus more and play cleaner. But we are normally confident.
That's great to hear that you are confident. Actually, the last question from me, coming straight from the interview we had before this, we were talking with the CEO of Forsaken, and he told me that he has really, really great, maybe even the best players, but not the best team. How would you describe Zero Tenacity and your current roster? Do you feel like you have the best players and the best team combined in Ultraliga, or you are lacking something?
Oh, I think we have the best team and like best players as well. So
right,
and they are just, I think they are just aggressive players, and if you don't punish them, they will just take over. You know, like you shouldn't play that much aggressive, in my opinion. And they are just taking advantage of that for against some teams, but not against us anymore, I think. And B2TG were winning against them as well. So I don't think it's much of a threat.
That's the spirit. I love it. Thank you so much, Korotkiy, for coming to yet another interview with us. And you know how it goes. Do you have any greetings or shout outs to give?
Well, for Z10 fans, like, thanks for supporting us. We didn't play that much today, but win is a win, so keep supporting us. Thank you.
A win is a win indeed. Thank you so much, Korotkiy, and good luck in the last week of regular split.
Thank you. See ya.
See you.
See ya. That was a confident guy talking about that they made some mistakes and the enemy team could have played a little bit better, but in the end, we need the win. We have the best players, we have the best team, and we are on the first place.
Yep, that is the confidence that, you know, I just want to have in my everyday life. I want it. You know what? Let's not talk about it. That's going to be getting way too deep. Next game is going to be Back to the Game versus Grape Craft. We're going to jump into it very soon, but before that, we're going to a short break, and then we see you right here.
Sí, ¿vos de qué parte sos?
Yo de aquí.
Ah, mira,
Tú de parte del este.
del norte.
Oh man, I feel like that was my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, hey, not bad. I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Wjedź do elektryzującego świata esportu i zagraj z nami. Moc energii zapewnia elektryczna Kia EV6.
And with big smiles on our faces, we are back from yet another break to showcase to you that Zero Tenacity won. No surprises about it, but we are just about to start with probably the match of today. Back to the game. GRP Esports, both teams fighting for not only the seeding into the playoffs, but actually playing one of the last games before maybe facing themselves into the playoff stage.
Oh, quite possibly. That will depend on GRP, but honestly, with devils.one losing their game today, the proximity is very close to 100% that devils.one are not going to go into the playoffs, which means we only have GRP and Forsaken left, which means, yeah, there is a chance that the Back to the Game will see GRP in the playoffs in the best of 5 series. But before that happens, yeah, they need to play with each other today. For Back to the Game, they are secured, nothing to worry about anymore. They are fine, they're Gucci, but they're on the second place. Forsaken won their game today, which means if Zero Tenacity somehow, not Zero Tenacity, sorry, if Back to the Game lose right now somehow, they are going to fall below Forsaken, and they're going to be placed number 3, which is not something this team wants.
They're kind of used to place number 3. It's the comfort zone for them. It's nice, but you always want to challenge yourself to achieve something even greater than you did yesterday. Yesterday, they went 3rd on the Ultraliga. Yesterday, I mean spring. And in summer, as I'm in pretty close relations with the coaches and the players, they are aiming for at least the 2nd place. And maybe even sometimes they are saying that Zero Tenacity is beatable. We'll see about that in like 2 weeks or so. Now let's focus on what's ahead of us, the draft.
Well, Back to the Game did almost beat Zero Tenacity in the playoffs in the previous split, but as you said, that is yesterday, today is today. GRP versus Back to the Game. Back to the Game on the red side, GRP on the blue side, banning out Vi and Karthus, focusing Chasq quite a lot, while Back to the Game don't want to see Rumble, don't want to see Zyra, and probably Tristana or Skarner, something of that sort.
Yep, they have to ban either Tristana or Skarner, or maybe the second way is to leave these two open so that whatever GRP locks in first, we are going to answer from the red side. Brand is open as well, so maybe Tristana brand, you know, Skarner brand, combinations like this coming from the R1, R2 picks. I'm thrilled to see what they are cooking.
The Nidalee ban makes a lot of sense from the side of Back to the Game because Belly did play Nidalee yesterday, and it was a pretty successful Nidalee overall. But right now they're not going with anything of that sort. They are securing the Sejuani for Belly, and Back to the Game are answering with Tristana and Leona for Kura.
No Skarner?
No
Really?
Skarner. No brand, no Skarner.
I'm surprised. I mean, for me, it feels like Cozy is not the type of player that will be happy to be playing Skarner. He's more happy playing duelist and stuff like that. Maybe Skarner into the jungle, I don't know. Accorder should be good enough of a support player to be playing it, but maybe they have a counter prepared that they don't want to showcase right now. Going with Leona plus Tristana is understandable. The answer is going to be Azir, and I'm expecting something for the bot lane. Or no, screw it,
other way around.
Straight up Renekton blind pick onto the top lane.
I mean, it makes sense in terms of the synergy with the jungler, because they can stack up the passive of Sejuani rather quickly together because they're both melee. But that is a pretty early Renekton, considering that they could have, for example, tried to go for a support just to mirror what Back to the Game are picking and wait with their pick for the top lane a little bit. But they have nothing to fear, or Mierak has nothing to fear apparently, even Jax that Cozy decides to go for.
That's interesting to go with the Jax here. It's a decent matchup for Jax later on the top lane. It is dangerous to be putting yourself against Renekton and Sejuani, but hey, you need to take a risk, as any top laner you would have locked, it would be dangerous. And locking top laner here allows you to not worry about the bans coming your way and just think about what can we play into the jungle. It's not going to be Brand. I was trying to predict Brand for Shaskyu. He was practicing it a lot. It's a overall great champion, and Shaskyu is overall a great jungler, but not this time. What's left? Talia's left, for example, so maybe some sort of an AP junglers are still open for back to the game.
Maokai is open if they want to go and explore this path. It's not going to be full AP, he still deals AP damage, but Maokai rarely goes into AP build these days. He tries to go for something a little bit more tanky with the Solari and Warmog, plus it's cheaper, and with a jungler it lets you get there a little bit quicker to the point where you're comfortable taking on the team fights. Lilia, that we were talking about a little bit earlier today, is actually going to be banned out by Grapetra. They fear the AP junglers a little bit. Well, back to the game, the only thing they fear is the bot lane.
Talia is great pickup here. Enemy team comp has already 3 champions with a dash, so that's a great usage of Talia. Plus, you want to play the side lane with Jax. Talia can help you from across the map. You can shut down the escape path for the enemy team, while Tristana and Leona are applying pressure. Overall, a great champion to lock in you.
Yes, and it is working as rather nicely so far with the draft of Back to the Game. Please tell me that's going to be Sophian on the bot lane. Please, 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 please. I would be really pleased if it happens. We already were blessed with one Seraphim game in this split. Maybe keep it the second one. But no, of course not. Senta just has to tease me a little bit with that hammer and then be like, no, you know what? I'm gonna go Jinx for Faetsky.
I was thinking for a moment about Zeri. Zeri could be not so bad into these champions. You know, you can kite back Leona, you can escape from Tristana as she jumps onto you while you are being positioned onto the wall. By the way, you can slide onto the Weaver's wall of Talia. That's crazy stuff, but you could do that, and probably Lotte knows about it as he is going to lock in Zeri for himself.
Yes, smart move right there. Zeri is going to work pretty well with Leona. Zeri is going to be strong on these 3 items when everybody on their team, to be fair, is going to be strong. That is going to be the power spike for Back to the Game to try to get to as quickly as possible. Problem is, apart from Renekton, everybody else on the side of Grapetra is also going to power spike massively on 3 items.
I mean, yeah, and they have a huge front lane. They have 2 really strong hyper carries, both AD and AP. They have the possibility to be controlling the side lane till like level 13, 14, 2-3 items. Then Jax is going to be slightly more powerful than Renekton and continue on outscaling him.
Yeah.
So great composition, well combined composition for GRP Esports. I would love to vote for them, but I went with Back to the Game for a couple of reasons, and I'm going to stay true to that.
But if you were, as you like to put it, to remove the nameplates from everybody, could you say that the red draft has chance to win?
Of course, they have a lot of chances. I mean, Azir Jinx scaling is amazing. I love compositions with 3 really beefy champions up front, that basically the front lane that you cannot play against front to back. You're going to focus Sejuani. All right, change. Renekton comes in. You're focusing Renekton. He's healing. He's using ultimates. All right, change. Then Alisia is coming in. And then Sejuani, because she has Warmog and she basically regained all the health that she was missing. That's a great composition to be playing in. But Back to the Game has also some strengths here and there, different ones, more side lane-ish, more splits, pushing power with Jax and Tristana, but still a lot of scaling as well.
A lot of scaling, that is true. 2 items even. I was talking about 3 items. It is going to be the absolute power spike, but even on 2 items, everybody from Back to the Game is going to be strong. And even for Cozy on this Jax, he would like to not be behind, of course, but if it happens, he's still going to be very useful as a very efficient split pusher on the side lanes. While for Renekton, you know, if he falls down, he falls down, unfortunately. That's why Renekton should not fall down. Ideally for Greepture, what they need to focus on is trying to win the top lane from Majutek, and considering they have Renekton plus the Juani combo, that should kind of be the whole idea for them for the early game. They win the early game for Renekton, and then after that they can use Renekton, who is ahead, and his beautiful resets together with Jinx in the team fights.
That's true, but Belit starting on the blue buff means that we won't see a gank for the next minute and a half. He should be just, you know, pathing towards the red. Also, he has the ward, actually 2 wards now into his jungle, which means no surprises coming in from Sejuani this time.
Yes, there is a lot of eyes from back to the game in the enemy jungle. Also a lot of aggression from Decisive on this mid lane. This is how this mid lane is going to look like. Both of these mid laners just strive for as much pride on the lane as possible and are going to give each other a very nice beating, especially with Tristana having so much early game damage. But
yeah, and
so far, yeah, tell me.
And the footwork for both of them, so we are going to see trade after trade after trade as soon as the footwork comes back from cooldown, so you can heal back a little bit, gain some movement speed to kite back from the situation. Just go for these 2-3 auto attack trades whenever you can.
Now, Belly did something interesting in the jungle. He completely escaped the ward. He went with a Q over the wall to start his red buff. Now he is on the ward at the Raptors. So now back to the game, have an understanding of where he is. And back to the game's bot lane is going to recall, or at least Zeri, because I think the Quota wants to go towards the mid lane and see if he can assist there a little bit.
Maybe just cover for the push, as he knows that Belly is around, so he just used the free couple of 2 hits is too much, Cozy.
Yeah, I don't think they should be going for this tower dive anymore, but they're still going for it. Forget that I said anything. Cozy secures the first blood, and they escape before Artorias TP is through.
And that's not the best TP, to be honest. I mean, Artoria is going to get, like, what, 4 creeps out of it, and then maybe this wave, Majutek is going to grab the minion wave from the mid lane, but they need to swap immediately. It's unplayable for Renekton to be playing against Tristana, so a little bit of waste of this TP, in my opinion, and Artoria could get punished for it, because playing without the TP, and Decisive has his own, he could be punished onto the mid lane, you know, sent into the base earlier, and Tristana is great at taking early plays. We are looking at the replay right now, because he gets caught in, like, the last pixel of the turret range, but it didn't matter, because it was the Shasku tanking the tower first, so, and well-executed dive.
Yep, he just threw in the minefield that stunned Majutek when he tried to dash around with the slice and die situation, and that was the end of the story. Is it going to be the end of the story now? Because Majutek has Bellet around. Maybe they try to go for Cozy. Bellet has not been spotted yet, but they can't really catch Cozy off guard.
Yeah, and a weird decision of, okay. Even weirder one. I mean, why are they still trying to take on Cozy? Feels like Cozy is willing to go 1v2.
Yeah, he wouldn't mind, honestly, with Majutek being so low and Cozy already sitting on the Shin. He would not hesitate, but right now mid lane does not hesitate to do anything. Decisive jumps over with a beautiful hello there emoji. And that is the end of the story for the mid lane. Bellet still on the top part of the map. Drake has spawned in the meantime. Back to the game, have Pride on the bot lane. Back to the game, have Shasky around. Back to the game are going towards the Drake.
Yeah, and they have just pushed in a huge wave onto the bot lane. It will take some time for Fetsky to outpush it, so he won't be able to go to this Drake and Cozy. Oh my god.
Oh my
He's
god.
looking for a solo ball. He still has flash, so there is a possibility of doing this.
And that is really worrisome for the top lane, right? Cozy is already 1-0, and Cozy is straight up bullying this lane. Now going on to Majutek, who just tried to recall, but brother, my brother, you did it on a word.
GG on the top lane.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
believe
GG in general, yeah.
there is anything to save them on the top lane. To save Majutek, 0-2, basically doubled in terms of the creep score, not being able to buy anything besides what? Boots and a Ruby Crystal, while Cozy is putting on more and more damage, being full level ahead that's a disaster.
Oh, he got level 6 there very conveniently, by the way. Cozy, I mean, of course. And he used that while Majutek is still not on the level 6. In the meantime, Artoria pushes Caesar right out of his own turret with a little Emperor's Divide. But he can divide, but he cannot conquer. That is not gonna be a kill for either of the mid laners.
But that's a flash out from Decisive, so that's an angle for Belit after hitting level 6 that maybe with a poorly channeled rocket jump, there is a possibility of succeeding at the gank, but let's not talk about this. Let's summarize what just happened on the map. Back to the game are happily playing on the bot lane, not losing that much in this matchup where Jinx has the advantage due to the range. They were able to secure the Drake. Shasku right now near the Grabby, so he could take the first set of 3. And top lane, I don't want to talk about the top lane.
Yeah, how about we skip the top lane? Because Cozy's getting close to his Triforce already with 2 components completed for it. And he's still going on to Majutek. Majutek now finally level 6. Can finally go into Dominus if things go completely south. But with Cozy being so ahead, with him being... No. I don't think there is any salvation for Majutek right now. Is there any salvation for Ballad, who decided to go into, or rather no, it's Akura who went onto him, right, with the Zenith Flare, and it was not a pleasant experience for Ballad whatsoever, but he's still shadowing for his bot lane while taking some gold plates for Fatsky and Sentu.
Lotten is not yet level 6, so they cannot really contest what is happening right now on the bot. They need to give up a wave or 2, a plate or 2, for the price of Grobbies and to complete dominance on the top lane. But still, it is painful for Zeri to be cut out of the resources for quite some time.
They're still fighting. And they're still fighting. Oh my god. Some things do not change. Ballad cannot get away from Akura, and they're fighting. Ballad is burning. Here is Shasku coming with the Weaver's Wall, trying to see if he can help out his team a little bit. Ballad runs away. Center apparently runs away as well. Still no kills.
I was thinking that this situation will be way closer as Accorder went in. I thought that he was dead for a moment, but no, he's alive. But what's the life on this lane being that low in terms of HP? You cannot stay there for long. He's still staying. He's looking for the level 6 hit potentially within the next couple of minions, but doesn't look like it.
Oh, Cozy is going again aggressively onto Majutek, who is under the turret. Does Cozy want to go and commit to it? He has the wave, and apparently he is committing to it, but the dominance probed by Majutek is going to keep him alive for a little while longer.
But that's the great information. Taking out the ultimate from Renekton means that Cozy can just go back, TP to the lane, or maybe not even TP, just go by foot and wait for Shasky to finish the reds, finish the golems, and just set up a dive when Renekton don't have his ultimate. That looks like a scenario for me. If they knew that Belit is currently on his own red buff, they would go for it immediately. Sadly, then they don't have the information. So Shasku was about to do a recall, but maybe Cozy called for him. Hey, it's a free dive if you just go there.
Maybe not necessarily a free dive yet, but free turret plates for Cozy. He's leading massively in terms of gold. Look at his inventory. What a giga shot. Just a Triforce. Doesn't need anything else. Triforce plus 3 wards he's played throughout the game. Thank you very much. Don't need anything else to dominate the hell out of this lane. There is no way Majutek can fight. He only has the completed boots and a shield and a tiny sword and ruby crystal. That's nothing compared to a Triforce. Akota is fighting with Sendu or dancing. I'm not sure what's going on here. Shasky and Loten are around. Beautiful knockout by Shasky and ultimate from Loten to try and secure some kills. Going for Ballad, grabbing Ballad. His support is down, but he is trying to go for maybe some more kills. Maybe Sendu, maybe Fatsky. Doesn't matter. Anything will do. Another knockout for Fatsky. He is very low in health. Loten flashes right after his own flash, but no! He cannot secure the kill to Fatsky. It is Jinx that is getting the kill out of it.
Great play from the duo of Fatsky and Sentu. They were able to outplay not only 2 but even 3 persons on the bot lane.
And here we go. Another knockout from Shasky did not land onto Fatsky. And they secured a kill. Another useless ultimate from Artoria, unfortunately from the mid lane. But he was just a little bit too late because the action has already finished when he came there.
I mean, that was a great fight from the beginning. Loten just dodging everything, going straight to belly, waiting for Sentu's ultimate to run out, then just playing with Shasku. After this knockup, I thought, okay, they got it, but Loten flashed too early. He allowed Sentu to utilize a full combo of Alistar straight onto him, and then Shasku greed a little bit, going for Fetty while being unprepared on the counter-attack.
Definitely a little bit of a greedy play there. Shasky doesn't have any items completed. Only sitting on some components for Leandri and the Faded Ashes, but at least back to the game are securing the control over the second break of the game, and we have the Ocean Soul.
Is it really?
Yeah,
it is.
I thought it. Okay.
That happens sometimes, you know?
Yeah, it's just you just press buttons sometimes, or sometimes buttons press you.
It was the time the buttons pressed on Artoria. The pressing need to press the button.
I guess we can put it this way. I think I like it. I don't like what is going on for the bot lane of Back to the Game, because they are being sieged right now. Mid lane is still fighting. Oh my god, guys, just have some rest, please. Sisyph, what is going on? What is this solo polo? And maybe another one on the top lane. Cozy, do you want to play it or Majutek more? He wants the whole turret. That's a bigger prize.
Oh,
and now maybe Majutek? Nah, not really.
By the way, both Sisyph and Cozy flashed for this very situation. Sisyph flashed to detonate the bomb from his E and then use the ultimate to finish the kill. And Cozy, somewhere outside of our screens, flashed to apply even more pressure onto Majutek, forcing him to recall. Otherwise, he would have gotten not only the tower, but also the kill.
But these flashes were really worth it because it's kills. I mean, it's kill on the mid lane and a full turret on the top lane. That is really good news for Back to the Game. That is really a lot for them to work around. And you can see Shasku is doing exactly that, getting the grabbies on the top lane, while Bellet is sitting on the bot lane. It looks like the attention of Gripcho is right now on this very bot lane, trying to win through this lane. Can they find anything? Lothan finds an ultimate. Akura finds an ultimate, but can they find a kill? They can! Fayatsky is finally down, but it's not because of the bot lane of Back to the Game. It's because Cozy decided to join in the fray.
GRP weren't prepared for this one. Maybe they were expecting that it's going to be Shasku assisting the bot lane, but no, it was the mighty Cozy 2-0 Jax jumping in and getting the kill. And right now on our screens we are seeing the replay of a brilliant play from the mid laner of Back to the Game, and once again Cozy just casually, you know, walking up towards the bot lane. Oh, hey, a kill, I'm getting it.
Oh, okay, kill. Thank you very much. A third one for my collection. Thank you very much. And a herald for the collection of Back to the Game that Shasky just picked up for himself, or rather for the whole team, to be honest. Now they want to get rid of the mid lane outer turret. Now they can think what their next step is going to be. Any idea what it could be?
Firstly, let's summarize something, Solari.
Yeah.
Back to the Game got 2 Drakes, 6 Grabbies, and a Herald and a full tower on the top lane, a couple of plates for Tristana, basically a lot of stuff. Pretty much everything you could have wished for in the early game. What can they do right now? Continue the domination. Play through the side lane with the Jax, play through another side lane, the second one, with Tristana, put Leona and Talia somewhere around, and maybe a little bit of a protection for Loten, you know, a vision ward here and there, so he could gather more and more creeps and just chill for the next objective.
I like this idea of yours, yes, to just continue what they have been doing, because it has been working so far. So why just not continue? And yeah, I love also the idea of making sure that Lothar stays as safe as possible. He's on static, 1 item, good, but not enough yet for him to feel any safe whatsoever. And Grapeshare have been taking a lot of effort into trying to kill Lothar as quickly as possible. Worked only once for them, but hey, 1 is already maybe 1 time too much for Lothar's liking.
Nice attempt from GRP to actually counter-attack on the side where Kozzy is playing, but I'm not sure if they know what they are dealing with. It's 3-0-0 Jax, and even though it's 3-1 in terms of numbers, it could quickly turn into a disadvantaged position, as I don't believe Bellit is tanky enough to stay alive while Kozzy is applying pressure with his lantern, by the way. Imagine if he had a real weapon.
That's never getting old, I swear. But Sisyph right now might be getting a little bit, not old, but a couple of gray hairs for sure, because Arturia is around, but Sisyph has the spider feeling, knows that Arturia is... If he's not anywhere to be seen, that means he's probably hunting you, and you know, that usually works exactly this way, so he's simply getting away out of dangerous position. But now, danger is right around the corner, because the Drake is spawning, has already actually spawned. Gripcraft are at the river, Arturia is at the Drake pit, maybe even taking the Drake. But they take the Drake, but lose the inner turret on the top lane, because Kozzy is smashing this turret with his lantern. Now he's gonna smash Majutek with his very lantern. Jump, hop, stun with a counter-strike. Majutek is dominant, but is he dominant enough in this matchup? The answer is no, he is not. Dragon for Grapetrap. Disengage as quickly as you can, my brothers, because this is not the fight you want to be taking. A Koda isn't looking for you. He's hunting, he's fishing. Shasky is doing the same. Shasky finds a red buff, knocks it up, maybe takes it, and they take the inner turret as well. Oh my god, they take everything.
That was the best trade of a single Drake I have seen. Tier 2 tower onto the top lane, TP and ultimate from Majutek. A lot of damage into the inhibitor tower onto the top lane, then through the mid lane, gets straight the tier 2, and on top of that, still the red buff. Why not?
Why not? Exactly. If Back to the Game feel that confident, and honestly they should, why not? There is, what, 6k gold difference between the teams. Back to the Game happily accumulating the gold, happily pouring it into the items. Look, 2 items on Zeri, 2 items on Jax on the top lane. Soon, I believe, to be 2 items on Tristana as well. And maybe another kill for Kozzy just to, you know, seal the deal, because he's dancing with Majutek. There are, however, too many members of Gripture around. It's 3 of them now on the lane, but they cannot finish even like that.
Missing the Sejuani's ultimate basically stops aggression. No, they want to continue, but they don't know that Accorder and Shasky are around. Well, now they know, so they are just going to escape from this very situation. Since it is, and it will be quite peaceful on the Summoner's Rift for the next couple of seconds, let's summarize the items. Fetsky being so ahead onto the early game, rushing the Infinity Edge. It's stuck onto what looks like almost 2 items, while Loten is not on almost. He's on actual 2 items. A little bit cheaper than the Infinity Edge itself, but it means a lot that Back to the Game, even their weakest member at the time, talking about Zeri that had some problems in the early game, caught up to the direct enemy.
Yes. And everybody else, apart from her and her support, is feeling amazing, because there is an item and a half on Shasky, and those are damage-dealing items, plus good damage-dealing ones. 2 items on Sisyph. Kraken plus Navori, that's pretty much already a power spike for Tristana. She is already unleashed. But most importantly, of course, it is Kozzy with this Stride Breaker on top of the Infinity Edge plus completed boots. This guy is a huge problem in all of the different places of Gripcraft's bodies right now. But right now their bodies might hit that floor, because Sentu, Fetsky, do they know that there are members of the enemy around? They do. They disengage towards the Baron to put in some vision. Good choice, good choice.
I'm not sure if it's a good choice. I mean, you are getting some control, you're getting a ward or 2, you're applying pressure, let's call it this way, but you're losing a lot. You're losing the tier 2 and maybe even more, as Tristana is not going to stop there for the price of a ward or 2 and a red buff.
A quarter. Oh, casually tanking some damage. Doesn't have any items completed, by the way, whatsoever. Looking forward to the Warmog, but not out there yet. But Sisyph, in the meantime, he's sieging the enemy base single-handedly. Majutek, look at poor Majutek. He cannot do anything about that little Yordle. This tiny Yordle girl with a huge gun is bullying a huge crocodile, the huge god of Shurima, and he can say nothing.
He can't say nothing. He lost his lane so hard that he's speechless right now, and
Yeah.
I don't believe that it's going to change. I mean, Tristana and Jax are just going to get stronger and stronger. Renekton is about soon to hit his peak, while the others are like one item above that. So
Yeah.
not the best game for Majutek. I don't want to blame him for the current state of the game, but it all started on the top lane. I mean, Jax got unleashed way too early for
Yeah.
GRP Esports to contest it right now.
But I would say it says more about how good Korotkiy is than how bad the lane was
Oh, yeah.
for Majutek, because
Definitely.
first of all, it's a really good matchup for Jax on the top lane, and second of all, Korotkiy is such a great Jax player himself. He knows this champion really well, he plays him very aggressively when it's needed, but when the situation arises, he can find other ways to unleash this champion on the map, playing a really good macro game. Something that he is doing right now, by the way, sticking himself to the top part of the map, closer to the Baron, closer to the top lane. The Grapeshot are still desperately trying to push through. While Decisive is on the bot lane, still fighting with Majutek, and guess what? Still winning against Majutek.
I'm surprised that nobody from the side of Back to the Game is rotating towards the bot lane. Maybe a quarter. No, he gave up on this idea because this tower is just free for grabs. I mean, Decisive just needs like another minion wave, or maybe even on this minion wave. He's going to go for it. Close. But
Oh!
it's not close enough.
Good attempt from Fejtsky. Flash out of Decisive. That's interesting information for Grapeshot, but bad information for Grapeshot is that there is a Drake on the map and it's going into the hands of Back to the Game. They're gonna be on the soul point and nothing Grapeshot can do about it because they're pretty much stuck at the base. They try to push in through the top lane. Took the turret out, couldn't push it any further. Bot lane is constantly under the threat of Decisive. What else can they do? They can't even leave their own jungle.
I do believe that 5 minutes ago, or maybe even more, I was trying to explain what Back to the Game will do during the next phase of the game, and it looked like I predicted it like perfectly. Jax playing on the side, Tristana playing on the side, and Loten trying to play through the mid lane, get some creeps, you know, get an assistance from a Corder or Shasku. Maybe the support plus jungler duo will rotate together to some places on the map. Didn't happen, but it's still okay. They are just getting the power spikes they need. Jax and Tristana looks like they got all the items in the world they need in the current state of the game. Leona full build with Warmox. What else do you expect from Back to the Game to do? They are just trying to slowly but surely extend the gold lead. Maybe the last 5 minutes weren't as explosive as the first 15, but still getting into the lead and leading the game for 10 minutes straight, or maybe even more. That's a great achievement.
I can tell you what I'm expecting from Back to the Game right now. To split them up in two for Grapeshot, to make them choose. To threaten the Baron and to keep Cozy on the bot lane, because Cozy can single-handedly finish this game. Give this guy one minion wave and then he will not even need a real weapon. He will destroy the enemy's base all by himself. While at the same time, the rest of Back to the Game can successfully threaten the Baron, making Grapeshot choose, making Grapeshot split, and in the end, pretty much most likely losing both of the objective and their base at the same time.
Feels like Back to the Game are preparing the strat that you just highlighted. Cozy is right now on the bot lane trying to stack the wave if possible. That's not exactly stacking, but you know, just trying to delete 2 waves at the time and go with the first one. That will be enough to get rid of the tower, stopping some recalls there.
Really good stopping of the recalls and really good stopping Artoria. You're going straight to the base, but not the way you wanted to do it. They are still fighting. Another one down. The Weaver's Walls coming in from Shasku as well. Let's see, can they grab anybody else? They lost the quarter, but they didn't lose their hopes and dreams. Still fighting, while Cozy at the same time is fighting with the enemy's base, ignoring me, and I completely don't care about you, Mr. Cocodrillo. I'm taking your turrets.
Well, Cozy couldn't take the full tower, but that's still a good attempt, you know, getting the inhibitor while his team was doing all right on the other side of the map, killing Artoria so quickly that he didn't even have an opportunity to press R nor flash. Let's see it once again. It was basically stun into knock-up, into stun, into bye-bye.
Into goodbye, exactly. Unfortunately, the ult from Sejuani was way too much for poor Leona to endure afterwards, so back to the game also lost one in this exchange, but it's a support exchange for a mid laner, plus Cozy wasn't even in the fight and he did a lot on the bot lane at the same time. And now back to the game versus the Baron versus the World round 2 fight. They are at the Baron, 5 men strong with the quarter just dancing around, trying to zone the enemy. So with it, mega death rocket from Fedski trying to, go for something with the Baron is not going to hit anybody, including the Baron. It is the buff for everybody from back to the game. Sentu goes extremely aggressively onto a quarter. Mierak is here as well. Mierak needs to disengage because it's way too much damage. Same goes for Ballet. Here goes the front line of Gripchu, but here comes Cozy right into everybody from Gripchu. The man versus the world. Can he do something on the backline? Can he chase Arturia? Can he finish Arturia? Arturia is golden. Arturia flushes away. Arturia is dead. Spoiler alert. And Cozy is still fighting. However, it's way too much control for him. But guess what? The cavalry has arrived. Lothar is here with the ultimate. They take down another one. It's 2 down from the side of Gripchu.
Arturia is not performing in this fight. We saw him die really quickly in the previous one, and in this very one, he was thrown out of the mid lane, straight into the on top of Cozy. So that was an easy pickup of this elimination, and without Azir, you cannot really team fight. I mean, you have Jinx and she's really strong, but without the front lane, what can Fedski really do? I tell you what he cannot do. He cannot defend the base.
No, nobody could be defending this base right now from back to the game. They are cutting through the waves. They are cutting through the objectives. They are cutting through Mierak as well. Balid and Arturia are still trying to do something, but the minions sealing their deal are right here, right now. 5-18, another victory for back to the game.
Just look at the damage graph of Fedski. 20k damage in the game that wasn't looking good at all for his team. He tried his best. He was basically dealing as much damage as all 4 members of his team combined, but it wasn't enough. For the beast Cozy on the top lane, for very well performing Sisyph and Chasku in this very much. I mean, back to the game, we're just a better team, and we had a small discussion before going into this match, and I said that Forsaken for me is a top 3 team, GRP is top 4, because back to the game are at least top 2.
And it looks like they are going to be at least top 2 right now. They're still sharing this spot, but it is still the top 2 spot that they are securing in the end of the day. But we have secured an interview for ourselves. Shasku is going to join us, the jungler of Back to the Game. Hello and welcome to yet another interview. Now, with this victory, can you tell me, please, through this game, was there ever any singular thought like, hey, maybe we don't win this one? Or were you always confident you do?
No, we didn't have any thoughts like that. Like from the early game, we were like controlling the game all the time. We got tempo. They couldn't do much on the map, except the 3v3 on bot lane because me and Lotten totally grieved that. But after that, we knew that we're gonna win anyway.
Yeah, with a nice draft, with a nice setup and nice finding answers to whatever GRP Esports tried to do, you were leading for since like the bit 10 or so without any doubts. Congratulations on this very win, Shasku. I would love to ask you about the future, about the prospect of playing in the playoffs. Probably you are going to be facing Zero Tenacity in the Juggernaut. Probably, because there's still next week to be played. But after that, either you or your opponent or anybody are going to face the teams number 3 and number 4 in the standings. We know that Forsaken secured the spots, but there's still a fight going on between GRP and devils.one. In your opinion, which team is better?
I don't think that the fight is going on because devils.one need to beat Zero Tenacity, and I don't think it can happen. But yeah, I think GRP is better because like if you do proper vision in early game versus Krisha, you just win the game, because after that they lose in team fights. They team fight really bad.
I want you to look in the future for me as well, but for a different topic. As a jungler, are you happy with where League of Legends meta is right now? And do you see it changing a lot?
I mean, I was always with love with AP junglers, so I really like this meta, except the like Sejuani because I'm quite enjoyer of this champion. I like the AP Zyra brand, Diana even showing up right now. So yeah, I love it.
So the meta suits you, the enemy teams can't keep up with you. You are straight looking at the finals, it seems. Last season, you had a nice best of 5 series against Zero Tenacity. This season, currently 1-1 in Ultraliga. Do you feel like you have gotten stronger than you were in summer? Are you actually closer to beating Zero Tenacity than you were a couple of months ago?
Yeah, I think we are pretty much closer. Like last time, everyone thought it was just like a lucky run, that we just have good day, they have bad day, and it happened. And right now, I think like people think that we are not that far. Like so, we are both team close to each other.
That's a good approach. Yeah, thank you very much, Husky, for coming to this interview with us and sharing a little bit of your own insight to the game and the other teams. But before we can let you go, you know how it goes. Please do give us any greeting or shout out you might have.
No to chciałbym pozdrowić całą organizację, serwer Brekownia i Ryasa i Hypera.
That's a good list. We will go with it. Thank you very much again, Shasky, and good luck in your games next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's always great to be talking with back to the game boys, onto the interview. And luckily, not only for me, for you, but for the viewers, they are winning quite a lot. So we have a lot of opportunities to take a deeper inside look into what this organization really is. It's not just another team with just another set of players to be playing League of Legends. It's a project coming straight from the second division to the first, and not aiming into like, no, maybe we can get playoffs, maybe we can save the spot. No, we are looking straight at Zero Tenacity, and hello, guys, we are closer than you think.
Ooh, that is a little bit menacing, but I like how you're putting it because that is actually what is kind of happening between these teams right now, right? But I'm gonna tell you what is gonna happen between the two other teams a little ahead of us. Wolves are gonna be playing against Matty USA LODIS. Both teams have absolutely nothing to lose anymore, and we love this type of games because they are always the most exciting and unexpected ones. But before we jump into it, we go on a small break, and then we'll be right back for the last game of the day.
Sí, ¿vos de qué parte sos?
Yo de aquí.
Ah, mira,
¿Tú de qué parte eres?
del norte.
Oh man, I feel like that was my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, hey, not bad. Same. I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Wjedź do elektryzującego świata esportu i zagraj z nami. Moc energii zapewnia elektryczna Kia EV6.
And sadly, all good things are coming to an end, and our broadcast is about to come to an end. We are not happy about it, but before we go, we still have one last game of League of Legends for you, everybody.
Matty USA LODIS versus Iron Wolves. Iron Wolves have been out of the competition for playoffs for quite some time already. Matty USA LODIS just signed their contract for not getting into the playoffs yesterday with their loss. Both teams have nothing to worry about anymore. Wolves, of course, would like to get as many victories as possible to try to eliminate the relegations. Pretty much same for Matty USA LODIS. But apart from that, when it comes to competing through this split in Ultraliga, no, the split ends for them next week. So why not have some fun?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I have one reason of why not having some fun today. And the reason is you want to avoid the relegation tournament for
True.
actually both of those teams. Orbit and Anonymo are not counting into this as they were the runner-ups of the previous season. They acquired quite a lot of championship points, so they are not in any danger. But Matty USA LODIS is currently having 0 because they acquired the points from Team SK Gaming, which was 0 in the end. And Iron Wolves, if I recall correctly, being the 7th of the previous, yeah, they were 7th, so they have like 18 points, not so much. They can get 0 or 16 from the 8th or 7th place, or still not so much. They are in a tough position right now. If they want to avoid the relegations, they need to win not only today but actually some games in the next week.
Whatever you were saying about the standings and all these things, it flew into this headphone and flew out of this headphone because it's like some numbers and I cannot comprehend numbers in my head. I'm sorry, but I get it that it's tough. It's rough, buddy.
Maybe at least some viewers understood what I was saying.
I hope so.
Okay, let's keep on that part and jump straight into
yeah.
the draft as the banning phase is about to end. Iron will decide to ban Majutek, targeting Ketim, Galio and LeBlanc targeting Domoles, and Matty USA LODIS with a standard approach of banning Rumble, Korotkiy and Lucian this time because they wanted to first pick Tristan.
Yes, they wanted to make the mid lane for her as safe as possible. They had a plan all along. Since Wolf decided not to ban out Tristana because they had other priorities, an easy first pick for Matty USA LODIS. Now, there are a lot of really potent junglers available for Wolves. The usual question is Jinx going to go towards something like Zyra or Brand? We don't know, but Anax surely is going towards that Skarner top lane.
That's always the gambit of the red side. You're not banning Skarner or Zyra this time. You're allowing blue side to choose. Take the champion of your choosing. It's free of charge. The charge will come after we lock in 2 really strong champions for ourselves. The first one is indeed going to be Skarner. The second one is not going to be Zyra, but a strong champion as well. It's Alisia, probably to the jungle.
Quite likely can actually go into Doma's hands. I believe Doma's has played Talia. I can't tell you 100%, but it's just a feeling on the back of my head. We'll see. Lodis, however, we need to see what they decide to go for their jungler, because for them it's the same situation. All of the junglers are available for you except for Makai. What do you want to pick? You want to pick Zyra. That's my boys. Keep her win rate at 100%, please. Is it still 100% actually?
I don't know, but is Domoles really going to lock this one in? He already has Tristana locked in. Yeah, you should be looking at other positions than mid lane.
He's just reminding us of some of the champions he has in his kit and some of the champions he loves to play. Same as Domus is doing, by the way, right now. Domoles and Domus. That's going to be a little bit confusing. I keep mixing these two guys up. I'm sorry, the nicknames are a little bit similar. But they're hovering Yone right now. It's a hover, and it's not a pick. Wait, that is Camille. Is it Camille support for Ents?
Or is it Skarner support for Ents?
Maybe. We had a Skarner last weekend, or like 2 weekends ago, in CBLOL in Brazilian League. And he actually did pretty nice. I mean, he grabs the enemy and he takes them away with him to the Wonderland, and they never come back from it. Very suspicious.
Playing Camille into Leona is quite challenging, because as soon as you go in with your hookshot, yeah, you're doing the CC and quite some damage as a support, not a lot because you're not able to itemize, but Leona is like an inch away from you, so just Q, E, no problem whatsoever to take over the control that you just started to apply. So maybe, just maybe, it's going to be a Skarner. We shall see. For now, I know 100% that we are missing on AD carries, and both teams are making sure that Xelar and Roof will have a tough time deciding which carry will they play.
All of them were taken off the board, right? We don't really have any choices left. We have Zeri, we have DrBrilmann. Oh my god, that is not even taking any time to decide whatsoever, Majutek. That's just locking in DrBrilmann for Roof on the Wolf side. Okay, what can you answer DrBrilmann with?
Looks like you can just go straight with Caitlyn, trying to play the long-range game, trying to put some more autos onto DrBrilmann, then he could, get in the revenge due to the range advantage for Caitlyn. With Tristana, with Zyra, already 3 champions operating on a nice distance between them and the enemies. Composition makes sense. You're just lacking a tank, I was about to say, but maybe PMK decides otherwise.
Interesting, by the way, absolutely not related to anything, but Caitlyn's cropping of her splash art is horrible. We can see her eyes. I feel really uneasy. I feel like Wolves also feel uneasy seeing her, but for very different reasons. She's such a great pick for Matty USA LODIS, and now there is Olaf on top of all things for that top lane for PMK. That's what I love to see for PMK. Give him some champions that can solo carry.
Of course, Olaf could solo carry in this very position, just skipping on both Skarner and Nar and Camille and everybody, just going straight for the DrBrilmann. Right now, we see the final results coming in. It is going to be Camille support in this position, I reckon. Roof and please stop trolling and swap back. We all want to see Roof playing DrBrilmann, don't we?
Not really. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, wait, was it Ants who role swapped towards support? Are they all role swapping today? No, they're not. But Ants definitely did role swap to support in this split, right? He was an AD carry before.
Yeah, but Roof was playing like a year and a half ago in Baltic Playgrounds. He was playing mid lane as well. So I don't know what is happening in this team. I don't know who's playing where and what, but looks like they just quickly role swapped during the champion select.
Maybe. Well, we'll see the final result when we get into the game and we realize what is going on there. But if we just assume that this is Camille plus DrBrilmann on the bot lane against Caitlyn and Leona, I do not envy them whatsoever. That is a really tough lane to stand against. There is a lot of kill pressure with Leona, and Caitlyn is one of those champions who have incredible power in the early game, plus a lot of range. The range is disgusting onto both of them.
Correct, but the thing is that if you Just ask your jungler to come in, even at level 2, level 3, apply some pressure, cash out as a Draven, get the early advantage. Then you could easily and happily thread through even Leona. Just skip on this Caitlyn. She's staying too far away, probably under her tower. Just focus Leona, just get some eliminations here and there, and escalate the problem that is called League of Draven. You simply cannot deal with it. Zyra is not great into ganking bot lane level 3. Maybe with the setup of Leona, you can look for a punish. But with the Skarner, you can always try and look for some plays on the southern side of the Summoner's Rift.
Welcome to the League of Draven, or not. We'll see about that, about how the game goes. Wolves are 1-10. Don't forget that. They have had a horrible split, scoring only 1 victory so far. Matty USA LODIS were trying so hard and got pretty far, but in the end, it actually did matter quite a lot because we gotta consider the fact that this is their first split in Division 1 Ultraliga. And while the bar for the newcomers has been set pretty high, it's not a rule for Division 2 teams entering Division 1. It was rather an exception, especially with Back to the Game almost getting to the finals in their first split. Come on, that doesn't happen to everybody. That shouldn't happen to everybody. And Matty USA LODIS should still be pretty proud with how their first split in Ultraliga is going so far. It's going to end next week, but before it ends, I want to see some fun games from them.
Yeah, and they started getting rather comfortable in the first division. They definitely don't want to go back to the second, so they need this win to try and secure a higher position, maybe like the 6th position in the league to avoid the relegation tournament. We shall see. For now, let's focus on what will happen level 1 and level 2 on the bot lane, as Roof just lost half of his health pool. What happened?
Domus might have the same, or maybe it's Domolis. No, it is Domus who's going to lose health. Forget it. Maybe he's going to lose all of his health. Flashes away from Domolis and recalls immediately. That's again Tristana bullying the hell out of her lane.
Yeah, that's Tristana doing Tristana things against champions that are unprepared for what's coming their way. Domus lost his flash rather early. That's one good sign for Ketim. But
Roof flashing away, another flash lost, this time on the bot lane. He's still burning, but definitely not going to die. Staying on this lane, however, should be out of the question for Roof with the range on Zeller. It is way too dangerous.
Yeah, and low HP Camille can't do anything in this lane. As soon as you go in, Leona is just going to even flash for you and try to get rid of your presence, as everybody's trying to get rid of the Domolis.
Yeah, of his presence on the Summoner's Rift, but Domolis is smarter than that, not jumping on the minefield, not really getting caught in too much of the trouble, and surviving somehow this onslaught of pretty much everybody from the Wolves side.
Alright, so some action happening, some early rotations coming in, but Roof basically rotated because he has nothing to do on the bot lane, as Ketim is trying to get rid of him from the Summoner's Rift completely, not allowing him for a peaceful recall, marking his presence into the enemy jungle right now, trying to poke down Jinxas a little bit, but it's Skarner in the end. He has some mechanics to escape, but he needs to pay attention of what Ketim is doing right now.
Because Ketim is dangerous. Ketim is, of course, ahead when it comes to farm, and that is most likely going to continue this way because it's Zyra. She out-farms the majority of all the junglers. Jinxas is pretty slow, as is Kane, when it comes to moving around the map, when it comes to taking the camps, and now his own jungle is being cleared out by Ketim. Or maybe it's not his jungle, maybe it's his laners, because Ketim is around the bot lane, Roof is extremely low health, but Ketim doesn't really find any good opening onto him with a root. But now on the top lane, PMK fighting 1 versus 2, almost getting Onyx down, but no, not enough. He is becoming the first blood to Jinxas.
That was close to turning the situation into the first blood for PMK, but didn't happen. What's also close is Ketim on the bot lane. I'm surprised that he's not applying more and more pressure, because Roof didn't go back. He don't have any self-healing mechanics. You just saw Jinxas onto the top lane. Why is Ketim not spamming plants under the tower of Iron Wolf's bot lane?
That's a very good question that I unfortunately will not be able to answer to you because I have the very same question in my mind. But Kerim is back. Maybe now he's going to find Ends with a really good route. That is a cleanse out of Ends. Very good starter for Matty USA LODIS to try to go for another gank somewhere soon.
Yeah, that's a great information. I was expecting a little bit more, but I do believe that's enough. At least you're getting a cleanse, at least you're getting a decent recall for your Caitlyn and Leona, and we are getting a replay of this very situation. Could PMK do anything better? I mean, Arnax about to go Mega just straight onto PMK stun, into another one, and basically PMK could do nothing. Maybe flashing, you know, behind the wall, but you're not ranged champion. You couldn't deal damage from this far away.
That's true. And he had it coming his way because he didn't have enough vision. Plus, as you pointed out, the Mega Gnat timer was absolutely perfect for Arnax. Unfortunate for PMK, but it is what it is. Maybe now Matty USA LODIS will find more luck on the Summoner's Wraith because Kerim and Jinxes are both eyeing those little but rather just grubbies. Kerim planting some really good flowers, dealing damage, rooting Roof down, but again, Matty USA LODIS can't really continue onto anybody, maybe at least onto grubbies?
That's the old school of Coach Inca. He was famous for it in the second division, that pretty much all of his teams were coming for the first Herald. Now that we have only one Herald and we have a grubbies, he's still coaching his old style, you know, forcing teams to just get a recall, maybe even lane swap and go for these grubbies. We don't see it often in the first division because the first division teams can play around it, but in the second division it was basically a trademark of the teams being coached by Inca.
Oh, that's interesting. Thank you. Now, what is interesting, sorry, is Jinxes on this mid lane with Demolus jumping around, dealing damage onto him. Hey, you wanna gank me? I'm gonna gank you, baby, says Demolus. Killing Jinxes just like that. Oh my god, Tristan is so OP.
He didn't even break a sweat in this one, just casually, you know, jumping in for the second time, putting some more autos, calculating the damage perfectly, and then sending an ultimate out. That's it.
Yeah. Didn't even need to use the flash, didn't even use anything like that. Kerim now might be needing to use a flash, but in the meantime, the top lane is also fighting, and Arnax is a little down now. You can't really do much, my brother, I'm sorry. And the fight in the jungle did not result in anything.
Oh, Xavi has flash. Is he going to go for it?
Yes, he's gonna go for it! And he's flashing away though, and there is Jinxes going onto the enemy AD carry, taking him under the turret. Roof is around. Oh, it's not looking like a good situation for Matty USA LODIS, but maybe they can get out of it. What is Roof going to do? He's level 4, Zeller is level 6. Xavi cannot catch onto Roof. Roof stuns him with a beautiful engage, and that is a kill for Ents.
That is a kill for Draven, that is a cash out for him indeed. A kill in return, but sadly for Leona, so Zeller is not taking much from this very situation as his opponent is getting significantly stronger. They didn't stop the stacks from stacking. Ents was getting some here and there during the first minutes of the early game. Right now being maybe only 100 gold ahead, but still that's a surplus for him.
So 3-2 as a result of it, and a slight, tiniest, smallest gold lead for Matty USA LODIS. Can they make this lead higher, or maybe Wolves are going to destroy 8? Because right now they are fighting with Xavi. No idea if he can even get out of this alive. Kedim can, but Xavi, he has Demolus around. Demolus is bringing in the big guns, quite literally. Roof is dead for the second time already, and maybe LODIS can use it to go for a Drake.
Downside of playing Camille support, but we will go back to this shortly.
PMK, oh, Arnax turned into a little Gnat, and he will not turn it back into the big Gnat because PMK is just rolling over him.
And he did it coming into like 10 minions in this wave, not being scared by anything?
No, nothing at all. Maybe Jinxes should be scared of something right now. Oh, he is grabbing Leona, yes, I'm sorry, I got destroyed there for a second. Leona is dead. That is true. You know what else is true? The fact that Demolus is destroying everybody. Domas, no more. Who's next? Ents? Jinxes? Yes, you two kills already. Roof maybe you're gonna be the next one because Solari is still following. Ketim is still following, and the ultimate is gonna seal that deal. It is 4 kills in the end for Matty USA LODIS.
And instant replay of this situation. Jenks is rushing in, but catching only Xavi in this very situation. Not the ideal target to be focusing in, because it allowed Ketim to utilize full ultimate plus some beautiful flowers. Demoles getting double kill. Zellar even flashing in to secure another double. That was just a slaughter into the river that Iron Wolves weren't prepared for. And the downside of playing Camille support. It's great when it comes to going in. You have Halo Blade, you have some damage, and so on and so forth. But you can't go back. You don't have any defensive statistics as does
Oh my
Arnax.
god! Oh my god! Arnax has a little bit of defensive statistics right now because his Mega Gnan PMK is caught with 3 enemy members. That's the only way for Arnax to survive, to bring in some friends to help him out, because this Olaf is too much to deal with.
Alright, so in the end, Nar has some defensive abilities, but still Camille has none. That's the problem for the roof. But for Arnax, it was actually a nice situation. His team came in for help, helped him secure this elimination onto enemy top laner, but they are losing Grabis in the process, and it's going to be full second set. It's going to be 6 Void Grabs for Matty USA LODIS.
That's a lot of grabbies. That's a lot of grabbies. Matty USA LODIS after a stunner and 6 grabbies. That is a really worrisome sign for a pool. Roof? Roof, hello? Hi, hello. Are you sure about your decisions right now? Going on to Xavi and Zellar like that. Roof is 0-3-2. He is not having a good game whatsoever, and it's continuing not to be a really fun one at all. He's dead yet again, and Jenks is around, could not do anything though. Maybe now because he's rushing right in, doesn't catch anybody with the ultimate.
I mean, imagine Xavi having level 6 here. It maybe even was a possible situation to turn this, but that's a thing for another story. Current curse of events is that Domas is not even allowed to go safely into his own lane, and we are having a replay of this very situation. Top lane, it was really close for PMK to secure another solo bolo.
It was, but the timing for Onyx yet again was perfect this time, turning into Mega Gna, getting suddenly a lot more health, a lot more defensive statistics, plus Jenks and Domus were around. Domus, Weaver walled himself all the way from the mid lane to help out his top laner, and that's the story of how their top laner got saved. And here, yeah, that's pretty much what you said already. No way Wolves do anything here. Lodis could have done more if only the level for Xavi was there, but no.
I mean, maybe with the Impale, maybe, but Jenks has missed, so there's nothing to be told. And the roof, for me, it feels like this pick of Camille is a little bit, you know, trolling, because right now you're not even dealing a lot of damage. Just look at this. Xavi is coming to clap you, and you can't even answer to that. It's a Leona. It's a full tanky support that's going in without the fear. Okay, he will pay a price. Not even that.
No, he will not even pay the price. The wall doesn't appear on time for Xavi to be stuck on this side. And even if he did, he still had a flash. He could have simply jumped over it. But as a result of it, Matty USA LODIS feeling completely in control of the map, are securing the first break of the game, which is the Ocean break. And are pretty happy across the lanes. I feel like Majutek, everywhere we look, they are in a strong lead.
Oh yeah, maybe on the bot lane this might change.
Oh my god, they're doing it again. 3 men on the bot lane. Okay, this time the Impale did work, but the ultimate from Xavi did work as well, and Ketim is around with the big flowers. They are getting some kills in as well. Zellar is dead, that's true, but Xavi is still fighting with Ants, and Ketim is around too. Ketim already has a double kill. Can he go for a triple kill here with Ants? Still trying to catch something out, but no, it is a triple kill for Zyra.
There's been an elimination for the side of Draven. That's the upside for Iron Wolves, and that's basically it. Because Ketim got the triple, Ketim is going to go back, buy a Leandris or Boot or whatever he wishes to buy. He's going to buy both of those items. Domus is going to be fine, I guess. Or maybe not.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
he's not
gets
gonna be
flashed on the cooldown for like the next 5 seconds.
he was in fact not going to be alright, unfortunately. Really good knock up there from Gomez.
And in this very situation, as you said earlier, beautiful ultimate from Xavi. Then Ketim puts his own, empowering the plants that are basically shredding through this corner. And then, I mean, not the cleanest kill onto the Draven, but still forcing the flash out. That's even better for the blue team.
Yes, they love having no flashes on wolves because then they can go aggressive. However, it is another problem when there is no flashes on the side of Lodis themselves. Demolish, I mean, even if you flashed away, I don't think he could have survived in that situation, but it doesn't matter because in the end he did die. That is the outcome for wolves. It's another kill for them. However, right now Lodis are securing the Herald. They have 6 Krabbies, remind you, and Herald on top of that. These guys want to go destroy their turrets. Or maybe Jinx us before that. Demolish, hey, chill, brother. That's too much damage. Come on, I got it. You have 2 items. Botrick and Navori, fine, you're unstoppable, but like, come on.
And he's just pasting the Impale like it's nothing.
I mean, the cooldown is not that high, to be fair. But it's still a good ability to have in case something unexpected happens. Throwing it out like that gives even more opportunities for Lodis to do something on the map. Like destroy 2 turrets almost at the same time.
Yep, tower on the bot lane gone. Tower on the top lane gone. 3-0 in terms of the structure, so Matty USA LODIS are expanding not only the lead, but actually the area of possibilities, let's put it this way. They're right now using the Herald on the top lane with 6 grabbies. It could even be a tier 2 tower destroyed without any problems. Just look at this.
That is so quick. 280 carries, 6 grubbies, and a Herald. Top lane is destroyed for wolves. It doesn't exist anymore. And that is 17th minute in the game. 17th. The Baron is not even awoken yet. It's not even thinking about finding a new place in the pit before it's ruthlessly killed by somebody. Only 1 dragon so far, and the top lane of wolves already gone. It tells you just how much Lodis have progressed and how much ahead they are compared to wolves. It is what, 7k, 6k gold difference?
It is a lot. So let's just not even count this. I don't believe it matters in this very situation. I believe that one thing matters, that today is a day, looks like a day without surprises. Maybe Demolish will surprise all.
Wait. Demolish is gonna be a surprise for us because he's going to die without killing anybody. That happens sometimes, but hey, okay, Roof is going to go down 100%, right? Because Lodis are here, Ketim and Xavi. Xavi though is stuck behind the Weaver's wall. Everybody from Wolves are protecting Mr. President or their support, the Roof, the Camille. Can Ketim do something to save this turret? Doesn't look like.
Maybe?
Wait, Xavi? Maybe? Wait. Let's wait. Xavi's hungry. Xavi can smell blood in the water. He smells the blood in the water. He sees the enemies, throws in the ultimate and throws in the ignite and gets another kill for Ketim. Ketim is in a little bit of danger because Roof is chasing him. Guess who is in danger? No. It is Ketim who knocks.
So in the end, I do believe that it is a day without surprises, that pretty much, or not pretty much, basically every expert predicting today gets 4-0. Every team that we expected to win are going to win, and there are no doubts about it. Even Matty USA LODIS in the very last match of today are showing class, skills and the potential to grow in next upcoming seasons, I believe, because the fate of this organization is still to be determined. I mean, they still could potentially face relegation tournament, and I'm hoping it won't end as you know, the meetup between Roof and PMK.
Yeah, I had a feeling I had a lot to say about it, but now I don't. It's just sad, man. 2 items on Olaf? And poor Camille is 1-7 with an Eclipse. Camille with an Eclipse, that is a disgrace to all Camille players. This item is cheaper, of course, than the usual build, and support, especially in such a situation, such position, is deprived of a lot of resources. But this is just sad. This Camille is not bringing in any value, not because Roof is doing something wrong, but simply because of the fact that he's so behind. Now he's gonna be even further behind because Xavi found him again. He's trying to... He actually is running away. Okay, forget I said anything. I didn't see the bump from Demolis. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you try to build a narrative about Roof, maybe surviving this one, and then it's man. No, it's
Demolis!
No.
Ah, how dare you actually try to win this game so hard? Can you stop? But Jinx says he's not gonna. Oh, he actually is going to stop. I can't forget it. I tried to say anything. Jinx says, oh, found a pretty good impale, but Xavi with the thumbs up. Still care about it whatsoever. Jinx says is dead. Thank you very much. The Baron is dead. Thank you very much. Says Kerim will lock him down. Yes, yeah, you get it. And is also dead. Roof quite possibly is dead as well. Oh, Arnox, that is a good jump. Wait. Woo! Guess what? You cannot really shove PMK into the wall because it's all up in Ragnarok. He doesn't care about your control. He's immune. Just like Gwen.
Yeah, just like Gwen, but in this scenario, way stronger. Capable of going in with 2 items against countless numbers of opponents. He doesn't care at all. Matty USA LODIS, all they care about right now is to take revenge onto anybody, because they can't make playoffs, but they can take points away of every other opponent. 3 games left, counting this one, but it feels like we will be counting this one as history after next 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes, the history still continues though for a little while longer. It's not going to be a 20-minute game, gonna be a little while longer, but with 22-7, doesn't look like it's going to be way too long from now on. Some good individual pick-ups from Wolves that I'm seeing here and there, but they are so small and so scattered that it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. They are painfully behind Matty USA LODIS right now. There is no way they can accumulate enough of those little things to find a good advantage on the map.
Yeah, and we are not even going to walk you through, viewers, on this replay. It was just a slaughter, as you saw. Let's not cast it twice, because it's not needed. Let's focus on what's upcoming. There's upcoming wave and a possible win, of course, for Matty USA LODIS. They have like 12, 13k advantage. Irons are trying to flank. That's interesting approach.
Here they come. Kerim is golden there, throwing at the ultimate right before that. Zeller most likely is going to go down because he's surrounded by 2 enemies at the same time. Still takes 1 before not even going down. He's not even going to go down. Oh my god, it's a triple kill.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, seals a deal for this game and for today, as Matty USA LODIS players are just going to carefully but surely put those 2 towers to sleep and then get rid of this big crystal in the base of the enemy team within the 23 minutes and a couple of seconds.
Yes, a pretty quick game, a pretty clean game from the side of Matty USA LODIS. Oh my god, I'm just seeing the amount of damage. Zeller, Ketim, demolished PMK. That's a lot of damage, buddy.
11 towers to 0. That pretty much explains that Iron Wolves didn't even get through the half of the map. They were staying max at the level of the river, not expanding any further. I mean, they went once for an adventure into the enemy jungler and were punished for it. So that's basically the story of this game. Total and complete control of Matty USA LODIS.
Yes, this was the dominant game from Matty USA LODIS. This is something I desperately want to see more from them, especially when it comes to the picks, because everybody went with something aggressive and everybody played to the role, especially PMK, who was one of the top damage dealers of the team, and he was playing on a champion that can bring a lot of value for the team. And I desperately want to see more of PMK like that, because this Olaf was dominant, despite the fact that he died twice. How many people did it take every time to take him down on the top lane? 2 or 3 at least. Nowhere, was there any close situation to a 1-to-1 solo bolo kill against him. Not possible.
Yeah, but for me, it just feels like Matty USA LODIS definitely played a better League of Legends this time. They were a better team indeed, but I have a mixed feelings about Iron Wolves. Yeah, they have no chances. Yeah, they have 11 now score, or 12, I don't know. I started counting after like a half of the split. So they are in this position where they cannot improve their standings, their position whatsoever. It feels like they just gave up, but they are willing to play still. They are not going to surrender all the matches. They are just going to try and have fun with stuff like role swapping on the bot lane, playing Camille support and stuff like that, but not playing on 100% of their abilities. I believe I felt like Iron Wolves were stronger than that, but right now maybe they're just talking like, okay guys, next week is our last week, so let's just play the games and then decide later what will happen with the team, with the organization. Because if they are going to end up last, and Matty USA LODIS most likely on the 6th place, is going to be Iron Wolves sent into the relegation tournament.
It is sad for Wolves, honestly. It's just it was a sad game if you look at it from that point of view. But at the same time, it was a pretty good and happy game if you look at it from the other point of view. If you look at it from this point of view of Matty USA LODIS. And I believe in a second, we are going to have a chance to have the interview with PMK, the top laner, one of the MVPs of this game. Hello, PMK. So good to have you here. Tell us, please, what was going through your head throughout this whole game?
Okay, first of all, hello both of you, my favorite duo once again. And nothing much, to be honest. Mainly because at the beginning we noticed that Roof was playing Camille and the Ents was playing Draven. They were like swapped. So we kind of didn't know what's going on. And what can I really say? After like minute 5, minute 6, and seeing what our opponents are doing with all disrespect, obviously, right? With full respect towards our enemies. We just already knew that the game is kind of, the duel between those both teams at the end of the scoreboard. So the game was pretty chill in my head and in the voice comms as well.
All right.
And that's also why at least me, wasn't thinking that much in this game. I don't gonna lie.
I mean, it's hard to concentrate while you are out of playoffs. I'm not going to ask questions regarding this matter. I'm going to ask a different question. Hello, and where are you? Because it's not your usual room, mate.
As you can see, we are in our LODIS bootcamp, a gaming house. I'm on my laptop right now because Xavi is doing the Polish interview and I had to bring my laptop down.
Okay.
Because we had only one camera, so I can even do something like that.
Ooh la la! Thank you.
And unfortunately, it's our last day of the bootcamp here because the week already passed, and tomorrow we are going back home. But I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty nice here. I mean, pretty nice. It's awesome, actually. It's the first bootcamp of my life. I really enjoyed the time spent here. Really great experience for me. And I hope my teammates feel the same.
We hope so too. And you know what, PMK, we're not going to steal much more of your precious time at the bootcamp. So just very quickly to wrap the interview from our side, if you have any greeting or shout out, please do give it right now.
I mean, what do you mean taking my time? I don't mind talking with you, you know? It's not like you're stealing my time. But okay, for the greetings, no one new on my list except 4 people. I will not be mentioning the same people again. I'm sorry to them, but yeah, I will just go straight forward. Best regards for the Mazi, Matis Haty, Maciuś 12.pl, and Aksia, Klaudia. And obviously, there was, I mean, those were Polish names. If you didn't understand them, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's all for the. What was the word? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Shout out.
Shout out, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we'll take it. Thank you so much, PMK. It's super nice to have you here on the interviews with us. We hope to see you more next week. But before that, good luck in the upcoming games.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was great having PMK here. That was great to hear a little bit about what's happening into the bootcamp, but it is a pretty sad moment. I mean, bootcamping in the end of the season, preparing the best version of yourself and of the team for this very specific, type moment of the season. Let's put it this way, and not succeeding in this mission. It was hard. It was harder than they thought. It was above their possibilities in the very split, but it looks like they are going to save the spot and they will have another shot next year.
Hope so, honestly, because they do deserve another shot next year. They do just deserve another shot, full stop. But before we talk about another shot, this split is not over yet. We have the schedule for the next week, the last week of the regular split of Ultraliga, and on Tuesday it's going to be Zero Tenacity versus devils.one, Forsaken versus Craft, Matty USA LODIS versus Back to the Game, and then Iron Wolves versus again Back to the Game. Ooh la la. Busy day, Back to the Game.
I mean, probably they don't mind playing 2 games in a row, but yeah, that's the correct schedule.
No, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. My dudes. It is.
No, yeah, it is.
Yes,
So
they do.
the schedule is a little messed up, but you know what? We are going to have 8 games next week. 8 teams will be playing. Nothing unusual. We just want to invite you all for the last 2 days of the regular split upcoming. We will be casting me, Solari, and Kasper will join us. So we will spend a lot of great time together. Hopefully you will join too. But for today, that is all. So we shall say goodbye. See you next week. Today we're casting me, Majutek, and my colleague Kasper here.
Hi,
Solari.
I'm Solari. Yes. Hello.
Thank you very much, guys, and see you next week.
Sí, ¿vos de qué parte sos?
Yo de aquí.
Ah, mira.
¿Tú de qué parte eres?
Del norte.
Oh man, I feel like that was my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I can go, bro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Wjedź do elektryzującego świata esportu i zagraj z nami. Moc energii zapewnia elektryczna Kia EV6.